Hi there, folks. Welcome to RRTV's live coverage of the Friday Night Racing Club Bathurst 300, coming to you, of course, from Bathurst. Well, it's a given, really. But your commentary team tonight is myself, Bernie Weemers, and none other than Mr. McBeardface himself, Alex McKellar. Welcome, Alex.
G'day, Bertie. Look, it's great to be back here, not only at the sacred home of Australian motor racing, but back here in the RRTV commentary booth, mate. I'm glad to get the seat here for me, kept it nice and warm. Looking forward to a great night of action.
It's going to be absolutely awesome. We've got 12 minutes of qualifying to go, but like all huge events, and this one is one of the biggest events we've put on, is we've really got to have the pre-race entertainment, don't we?
Absolutely. Looking forward to this one too, mate. There's some colourful characters in this lot, as some of the names you'll see tonight will represent. And this is also representative of some of the colourful nature of this club.
It certainly is. So we'll introduce you to none other than Shiro, and here's the FNRC theme song.
Work all week long for the man, waiting for the weekend to come. A Friday night is just for me, baby, I'm gonna have some fun. I walk into my man cave, and I lock the door. I sit down, put my headset on, and the outside world is no more. Yeah, the power goes on and the lights go off, and I'm in my space. Ignition on, engine start, now I'm ready to race. FNRC, it's the place I wanna be. FNRC, that's the club for me. FNRC, you know it's number one. FNRC, Friday Night Race Club. We're just a bunch of mates, I'll have a run. No aggro, no money, no fame, just glory and fun. Once the lights go green and we're in the race, I'm having so much fun, can't wipe that smile on my face. FNRC, it's the place I wanna be. FNRC, that's the club for me. FNRC, you know it's number one. FNRC, Friday Night Race Club. Friday Night Race Club, just for fun.
So there you go, folks. That was Brian Sheridan with their theme song, FNRC. Very catchy, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. It's like I said, there's some colourful blokes in this group, and they're a lot of fun. And that's what it's all about. Friday Night Race Club, you know, the F could just stand for fun. These guys are out here, as we just saw on stream then, the guys doing the famous jump at Bathurst in iRacing. That's as much a part of every weekend at Bathurst as anything else.
Yeah, exactly right. And tonight they're all out there in the new Subaru, which is quite fitting because this race tonight has been sponsored by, well, the whole season, by Central Coast Subaru. And fantastic to have them backing the event. So basically, Central Coast Subaru, they're known for providing a relaxed, no pressure experience, which means you can go and test drive a new Subaru that's big on safety, performance and value, and then you can just do. There you go.
Nice one. Yeah, look, we've had tremendous. I've been a part of this season for this club for the last few seasons, and look, we've had some tremendous support from Central Coast Subaru. They've put on some great nights and some great prizes, and most importantly, some great racing, which has been fantastic for everyone involved. And look, I can speak on behalf of the whole gang, no doubt, that we really appreciate their support.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and basically tonight, folks, the drivers that are here tonight, they've been going for about 23 weeks to get a Guernsey in tonight's race. It's pretty much a winner-takes-all event, and the prizes have been put up by Central Coast Subaru, so they're pretty much racing for $100 worth of Subaru-branded products and $50 iRacing credits, so it's not bad prizes.
No, exactly right, and there's a long road to get here too. Just to give people an idea of how we race here on a Saturday night at least. The Friday Night Race Club's a different standalone series, and we do a bunch of stuff on a Friday night. But on a Saturday, each and every Saturday, what we do is we do a little mini enduro in a different car, but always at the Great Mount Panorama at Bathurst, Bernie. So 32 laps, safety cars, full course cautions thrown once random, although there'll be 2 tonight. And look, we run a different car each week, so what you tend to see is you always see your quick guys tend to come up the front, but you've got a good chance of getting a different mix in the top 5 or so each week, and it's a lot of fun, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and we've got the total points coming into this. So basically, Håkon Grebstad, he's out there tonight. He was leading. Not that it makes any difference tonight. It's winner takes all. Yourself, Alex, was second, so you got the silver cup, and Alex John looks like he got the bronze cup there.
Yeah, look, you can see there's a long list of drivers there. Only the top 30 have qualified tonight, and it looks like we've got about 20 on track tonight with a few non-starters due to real-life commitments, of course. But, yeah, you can see there the 2 guys that have been the strongest. I mean, you take me out of the equation, not only because I'm in here, but I'm not the quickest bloke running around. But you see Håkon and AJ up there. Those 2, once again, if you look at provisionally on the at least Håkon's in provisionally in pole tonight. But someone like AJ, he's lightning quick in almost anything you throw at him. And I think he won those 5 or 6 races that he won, Bernie, if you can believe it, they were 5 or 6 weeks in a row. So, look, he's a really talented guy, and there's a bunch of guys that love to have fun out there tonight. But there's a few quick ones in there too, Bernie, so I'm looking forward to a good show.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely awesome, and you can see the qualifying as they are at the moment, folks. Because this is a league, they can all run under their nickname. So Håkon at the moment, fastest with a 2:07.146. Schultze, who's on screen now, 2:07.439. Third fastest is Hardsey with a 2:07.469. Rusty, fourth fastest with a 2:07.933, and fifth is AJ, 2:07.945. Well, I tell you what, mate, you can tell you're in Australia, can't you, when all the nicknames finish with the E?
You took the words right out of my mouth, Bertie. I was about to say the same thing. Don't forget the O's. You've got a Wayno in there as well. There's a few O's in the comments as well, mate.
And then we've got Mother.
Yeah, that's right.
I was reading and thinking, yeah.
No, I was just going to say that it really is all about fun, and some of those names, if nothing else, they do exactly what it is.
Yeah, exactly right. And the other thing that is going to be fun out there tonight, folks, is the way this race is going to be run. It's going to be a Bathurst that you've not seen anything like before, I can assure you. But total laps tonight, 50. And the cars, they have 28 litres of fuel on board. Yes, that is their full tank because they're GNRC cars. But the glitch is they can only fill about 25 litres, which means, Alex, we're going to see them pitting every 4 to 5 laps.
I'm wondering if they're going to spend more time with the pits than on track, at least in their own minds. But yeah, that's right. Normally on a Saturday night we do 32 laps, as I said. They do limit the fuel, so you've got to usually pit between 2 and 3 times with the random cautions thrown in as well, which there'll be 2 tonight instead of the usual 1 that we see, largely because it's a longer race as well, adds a bit more flavour to it. But I mean, there'll be enough excitement with the pit stops, I think, Bertie, if nothing else.
Yeah, I think that's going to be quite entertaining. And basically, they're going to come out and get the call to come back in the pits in the next 5 laps. But that'll be fun. The other one is, as you said, the random safety cars. So we're expecting 2 of those between laps 20 and 38 tonight. What else do we have to cover off? 5 fast repairs. Doesn't look like there's an incident limit, but the main thing is... Sorry.
So I was just going to say, I think we've got 50 incidents tonight, which is usually what they said on both a Friday and a Saturday night.
Okay. So it's really down to folks all about having fun, and this is what I like about this league. It's basically a bunch of blokes get together, they have some fun, and it reminds me of the club racing, but a little bit crazier, I guess.
Look, it's a lot of fun. You'll see a lot of particularly post-race incidents, but you're right. It is a lot like club racing. It is the Friday night race club, and that's the kind of attitude that everyone takes into it. And, you know, it's by invite only that people get into this club. They've been around for over a decade, Bernie. They've been in iRacing for about the last 12 to 18 months. And, you know, if you're a bit of a hothead, you don't last too long, to be honest. And the guys are all about enjoying their time on track, and we all know life gets pretty busy, and sometimes just letting your hair down on a Friday or a Saturday night's the way to go.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I had one run in there. I didn't get the 28 laps in. I jumped out before then, but now that I know what to expect, I'll probably stay in there and just cause chaos.
Well, maybe, but the thing to remember too, that because it's all about fun, you know, everyone does want to win or at least do their best.
Yeah.
This format does allow for people to come back. The number of times I've seen people be in it and have to tow at the top of the mountain in the early stages of the race, but then come back to either finish in the top 5 or even win it, is remarkable, because it's those full course cautions that bring everyone back into it, let alone the frequent pit stops that we'll see tonight. Really sort of throws in a bit of strategy, and as well, those cautions really level the playing field. So you can afford to tow and you're still in it, Bernie. It's never over.
Yeah, well, that's what I found with the AOSC calling that great series. Basically, those random safety cars, they can tip the race on its head, which is the whole reason why you have them. It's to bring that drama, the excitement into the racing, which is we're going to see here once again tonight, as we just see Rusty going up the straight up here, Mountain Straight, and on his bumper it just says "just for fun." So that pretty much sums up what this is all about, folks. We're all going to have a bit of fun tonight, and hopefully you can join us and kick back with your pretzels and your beer and see a bit of fun racing going on.
Yeah, that's the ticket, Bertie. They've just got a minute left in qualifying now. It looks like the order's pretty well settled. Great to see Scolty up there in P2. He's made some really big inroads in the last season or so. He got a top 5 in the Monday Night Lights recently, but he's been doing really well in the tin tops too. And having done a couple of practice laps around here earlier today with because it's a fixed setup, that we should also mention here tonight, folks, the fixed setup, so everyone's on the same gear, same car, same setup. And I can tell you it's interesting. The softer suspension in these cars, along with four-wheel drive, they're quite unique to drive around here, Bernie, so it should be good fun.
Yeah, you were saying earlier before we went on air that they're quite tricky, and they, as you were saying, with the gear ratios and going across the top there, you want to pluck 6, but you can't quite get through on 6 gear.
Yeah, look, I'm sure the guys will wrangle them better than I did. I didn't get too much time in there, but it was a bit awkward at times with the gear ratios here. Of course, these cars are ultimately rally cross cars. They're designed to be on short, sharp circuits, on dirt as well. They do have some poke and tow, I can tell you. Don't let the lap times deceive you. The 207 round here is pretty quick in these cars, I must say, but you sub 2 minutes of your lightning road type cars here, but with the way these cars are generally set up to be rallycross cars, 207 is pretty quick, and I know you're hitting up around 260, between 260 and 270 down the back straight, but you're also topping out. So look, it's a real challenge for the guys here, but they're no stranger to that, Bertie. We've been doing that for the last 6 months, every week in a different car. Everything from the Lotus 79, which is a joy and a terror to drive at the same time, all the way through down to the Skip Barber, which of course is many people's favourite, including my own. So wide variety of cars here, so these guys will be up for the challenge, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, they definitely will. We can see Mother now coming across the top here and sitting 12th at the moment, so we might as well go through the grid, I think, because we've got 20 cars to go through, and I don't think qualifying is going to change much. So let's have a look at the winner-takes-all grid for tonight, Bathurst 300 race, brought to you by Central Coast Subaru. So Hawkon, he's going to start from pole position. He's got Scolty next to him in second. Out of the second row tonight, we'll have out of third is Hardsey, and he's joined on the line by Rusty. Looking back to the third row, out of fifth will be AJ, and then we've got Kev starting in sixth position. As we move back to seventh, we have Lesbos in seventh. Eighth is Woodsy. Wayno out of ninth. 10th will be Gaza, as we just see Rusty there launching it across the top, I think it was. Nico will start out of 11th, and Mother will qualify in 12th position. Out of 13th, we have Dragol, and then Dales out of 14th. Going back to 15th is Cool Runnings, and then Brindy Man will start out of 16th. 17th tonight is Trickster, 18th Shiro, 19th is Pete, and rounding out the field of 20 will be Jace.
Yeah, interesting to see there, Bernie. The top 10s all the way down to a P11, around the 1 second separating them, Bernie, and it's 1.5 all the way down to P16. So in a 20-car field, it suggests that not the fixed setup's doing its job and that we're in for some pretty close racing.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely awesome. The other thing I checked on, coming from Monday Night Lights, is the Team Ovaltine, Team Milo. Looks like they've made a showing over here as well.
Absolutely. Got AJ from Team Milo. We do sometimes see Russell Clark, a.k.a. Sexy Buns, when he races on a Friday night from Team Milo. And we've got Hawkon Grebstad, who's qualified on pole, of course, and Dragol, a.k.a. Dennis Fiedler from Team Ovaltine. So, yeah, the rivalry continues.
Yeah, and I noticed that I think I prefer the Milo livery, though. It looks a bit more updated than the Ovaltine ones.
Don't say it too loudly, mate. We have the Ovaltine boys up in arms.
That's all right. They know I want to start team quick. So, actually, that's a good idea. I might do that.
There you go. Quick as you like, mate.
Yeah, no, I started a new team. It's called All Talk Racing. That's my new team. Perfect, eh?
Perfect, mate. Yeah.
People said it'd be funnier if I don't actually get in the car, but they haven't seen me drive. So.
I was going to say, there's a joke in there somewhere, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there is. It's normally the person behind the wheel.
Oh, I set that up and you knocked it out of the park. Well done,
sir. Just like good old times.
That's it.
So you can see, is Dennis Fiedler racing tonight?
Yeah, he's Dragol, the second of the Team Ovaltine races.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he's listening in there. He said, go Team Milo.
Of course he did.
He did. All right, we're just waiting for the rest of the field to join us. Dragol should be on the grid very shortly. We're waiting on Kev, Mother and Wayno. And then we're going to be racing here, folks. 50 laps around Mount Panorama. It's going to take a bit of time to get through, though. Not only the lap times aren't too bad, 2:07s, but it's the pit stops that's going to drag this race on tonight, I have a feeling.
Yeah, look, you're right. Probably an hour and a half plus, somewhere between an hour and a half and 2 hours by the time we get all the pit stops in, as you say, Bernie, but should be a lot of fun along the way.
Oh, it'll be great. Almost said it's going to be hilarious, but it'll be that, but it'll be also great racing. And we're just waiting now. Kev and Mother, they need to come out and join us soon.
Yeah, they got 5 seconds to get on the grid before they're starting from the pits by the looks, and I think we're all about ready.
We certainly are. Here we go, folks. We're under starters orders here. Revs will be rising. Keep an eye on Hawkon on the inside with Scolty on the outside. Here we go. We are underway at Bathurst for the FNRC Bathurst 300. Hawkon gets a great jump. He will take them through Hell Corner for the first time. Looks like Scolty has got through second. Now Rusty and Hardsey, they're coming up side by side there in third and fourth position, closely followed by AJ.
Yeah, AJ tucked in the back of that pack there. There's not much separating them at the moment, or the front two, Hawkon and Scolty, look to be skipping away already, almost out to a 1 second gap as they head through Griffins for the first time. Can this large field get through in these unfamiliar cars, Bertie? Not only unfamiliar to the drivers, but unfamiliar to the track, no doubt.
Yeah, they're coming up to my favourite corner is the cutting, and looks like they're getting through nice and cleanly at the moment. Everyone's behaving themselves as they snake up the mountain for the first time here tonight.
Yeah, snake it is. It's a long snake too. These cars really, everyone doing fantastically well. The benefit, of course, for everyone, there's a bit of action just behind Cool Runnings and Brindy Man now going 2x2 is there was a Cool Runnings really the back end of that car stepping out wildly as he went through the up past the cutting and over the top now as they head towards Skyline there, but they've got through cleanly. Everyone here showing the experience and the benefit of having spent so many laps around here, Benny. I figured it out. It was close to, by the end of tonight, it'll be between 800 and 900 laps we've done here in the past 6 months.
Yeah, we're just having a look at Cool Runnings there. He actually got into the wall here as we were on the super slow-mo coming up out of the cutting. Where did he go into the wall there? That was just up near, just out of Reed Park, coming up to Salmon Park.
Yeah, it looks like just a bit of understeer. Perhaps got on the gas a bit early, and the four-wheel drive took over, and unfortunately, bit of a nudge there. But as we said, 5 fast repairs will keep everyone in this race. As Hawkon once again looking to lead from the front. He's won a few of these, I think 4 if I'm not mistaken, and looking to take out the big prize tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there any other way? Oh, well, I guess there is. If you're an old British general in World War I, you normally led from the back, but generally in Australia, we like to lead from the front.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool Runnings. I'm just saying he's just ducking into the pits now, and just ahead of him, there's someone else ducking into the pits. I think that might be Jace Willman. He's also ducked into the pits on the tail end of lap 1. Both of them looking to come back through the field as is infinitely possible, as we mentioned earlier on, with the 2 random safety cars tonight, plus any safety cars as required, depending on any incidents that might block the track moving.
We just saw AJ there take an awesome move on Rusty as they were coming up to the end of Mountain Straight, ducked in, nice clean move. I tell you what, I've already picked the best dressed car tonight. That's Les Boss. It has to be the Muppets Subaru there. That's looking very splendid, and it's taken me back to my childhood.
Yeah, Les Peck, that is, folks at home. You might remember him from the Monday Night Lights crew. He regular in the second split, every now and then gets a run in the top split. He's a fantastic clubman and a great competitor as well. The Muppets, I was just picturing you and me, Waldorf and Sattler, up in the box, mate, up in the booth, watching on and calling you out in the Muppets, mate. Yeah, great living there from Les.
Yeah, I've been practicing. You call that a race? That's not a race.
Yeah, that's it. Well, there is a race still out there on track, and as much of a Muppet as Les might be thinking he is tonight, he's in there with a chance. And AJ, like I said, he's still in the running here. He's in P4. He's up 1 position from where he started, and he's looking to chase down the front pack. Like I said, I've not known anyone that could win 6 of these on the trot, so I know he'll be in the hunt tonight, Bernie.
Yeah, he's looking really, really sporty and racy out there. Could just hear him hitting that rev limiter as they come down through the chase. And that's Milo entry. It's looking much more modernised. Throwing down the gauntlet. Team Ovaltine, guys, you have to update your paint job because Milo is hitting it out of the park at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. 37 car of Hawkon. He's out in front at the moment, though, Bernie. So Ovaltine may not necessarily be too worried about the paint scheme if they bring home the chocolates tonight, mate.
No, they'll just say it's totally Ovaltine, you know. I had a pun there, but I'm not sure if I should say it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, well, I'm just keeping my eye on AJ again. He's still there in P4, hunting these down. He's down within a second now. But there's a long train here, Bernie, all the way down to Wayno in P8. Each of them, was just in front of him. Woodsy runs a little bit deep there through Griffins, manages to hang on to it. And it didn't cost him too much. All the way down there, like I said, these guys in the top 8 at least are separated by less than a second between each of them. And then until you drop back to Dragol in P9, who's up 4 positions. He's up 4 positions from where he started, Bernie, and trying to chase down those front runners if he can. Yeah,
and a couple of the drivers that have come through the pits so far, folks. Kev, in 16th position. He has brought that car in and had it repaired. We've also had Nico in the 555 make a visit through pit lane, 8.7 seconds, so he's probably used the fast repair, as has Mother in the 222. Cool Runnings, we saw Cool Runnings hit the wall earlier, back out there and running in 19th, and Jace also running into trouble on lap 1 is also circulating. So all 20 are circulating still, but Hawkon at the moment has a gap of 1.7 seconds, as you could just hear them roaring down Conrad Straight here.
Yeah, like I said, these guys will be tapping out well and truly about halfway down the main straight here, the back straight here at Bathurst, Bernie. They are built for the short, sharp circuits, as we said, but as you say, Hawkon, he's out to 1 point. I got him at 1.3 and ahead of Scolty, who himself was the leaders go in for their first pit stop after only the end of 3 laps, Bertie. That tells you a lot about what this race is going to look like.
It certainly does. They're decided they're going to take that early pit stop, and these guys should be able to get another lap or two before they have to come in. But at the moment, the leader, Hardsey, in the Budweiser entry takes the lead. AJ, though, is all over the back of him. Here he goes as they go side by side up Mountain Straight, and it's a drag race.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And AJ looks to have got the better running up Mountain Straight. Hardsey tucks in behind there. These guys won't be far away from pitting. I thought 3 laps was a bit short. I thought they might get 4 or 5. It's interesting to see what these two do now that they're in front, whether or not they can make a breakaway or get some gaps through making better pit stops. A lot of these guys have had plenty of practice over the season. As I said, normally on a Saturday night you're looking at between 2 and 3 pit stops, sometimes more depending on how your race shapes up. And so they're well versed in it. Interesting to see what tactics they use here though, Bernie, because if nothing else, they're going to get a lot of practice here again tonight.
They certainly are, and Hawkon, he was the leader. He's come out in 6th position. His stop 10.4 seconds. Scolty right behind him, 9.7 seconds. So that's going to be the ballpark figure we'll be looking for tonight. Now, I guess as far as tyres on these go, they're not going to throw them on every 5 laps. So it'll be interesting to see if they do the 450 on one set of tyres, or if they decide to put a couple or maybe 1 or 2 sets through this race.
Well, you're exactly right, Bernie. My experience is limited to the rallycross cars, but what I have seen, the tyres can go off. I did do some testing earlier today. It's about 10 seconds for fuel in these, and you chuck on an extra 5 if you want tyres. So the added element of the safety car laps means that it's full course cautions and the cars are going slowly. You don't lose too much in that 5 seconds taking tyres, other than track position, which of course you can earn back if you've got a bit of the pace around in these things. So my suggestion is to you that potentially if they're going to take tyres, unless they've binned it and had to tow, which of course naturally you'd take the extra 5 seconds every day of the week. But some of the guys here, the ones thinking ahead, will no doubt probably be thinking they'll take tyres in the 2 random cautions, Bernie.
Yeah, and of course, being rallycross tyres, it doesn't really show you on this, but generally they're not a slick tyre. They have to conform with strict standards, but they also have to perform not only on the asphalt, but also the dirt. So it'll be interesting to see how those sort of tyres around here hang in. And they should be okay, but we'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, as the pit strategies unfold, everyone's come through the pits. So Hawkon takes the lead. Scolty in 2nd, 3rd AJ, 4th Rusty. Right behind him is Hardsey. That is your top 5.
Yeah, I'm just watching Shero cycle through his pit stop, Bernie. He's just leaving now. I heard something over the radio. I didn't quite catch it, but he had a long stop. He had 45 seconds in the lane, 26 seconds stationary, which suggests he got a pit speed limit, pit speed lane speed penalty. Sorry, that's a mouthful for me. So, because there's no pit speed limiters in these cars. So that was one we actually spoke to Shero about before the race started, and he's the first one to get caught out, I think.
Well, you know, it shows how fair the league is when the host gets penalised.
Yeah, absolutely it is, and we've been very clear throughout the season. There's no black flags cleared, although tonight we've got special dispensation, both due to it being the finale and and also the longer race. In the full course cautions tonight, we'll be initiating waiver rounds for the lap cars to try and keep as many people in the race and on the lead lap as possible. So plenty on offer here for the folks in terms of the prizes, but also in terms of the fun, Bernie.
Yeah, it's a fantastic way to spend a Saturday night, that's for sure. But up front at the moment, Hawkon resumes the lead. He's getting quite a bit of a gap going. Last time through it was 1.2 seconds. The live timing's telling me it's around about 1.1 seconds at the moment. So nothing has changed there as we go through the field. Let's see if we can find some close battles. I did see Shiro. He is having a good run here up against Trickster at the moment.
Yeah, Trickster's an old head that we know from Skippyland as well. That's Mick Gray for the folks at home. Really great, smart racer, and Shero, a great bloke himself, as they chase each other down Conrod at the moment. Tapping out all the way to the rear of Shero's car, stepping out. And they're really a bit wriggly under brakes sometimes, with both guys handling the car really well. Shero getting a nice tight line there. The rear stepping out again. He's leaving a trail behind him of rubber there, Bernie, as he looks to move up the inside of Trickster into the final corner, and looks like he's got it done, Bernie.
Yeah, he's got that. Throws two wheels up in the air and just to underline the action, and he makes that move. So great move there by Shiro. Up to 14th position. We'll see how he goes, but off air is telling us he's normally up the back as a service to the community. He just wants to make sure that there's no blockages of the track.
Yeah, well, that's it. I was watching it before the pit stops, and he was up 14 or 15 positions, and then that pit lane penalties really killed him in terms of that. But like I said, no one's ever out of it. There's about 1,000 pit stops to go, so I'm sure others might have the same problems. But and he's been having some pace lately. He's cut over to the virtual reality. He's loving every minute of it, and you can just see that he ran wide out of turn one. But as they go through the cutting now, he's already opened up nearly a second gap over Trickster, and looking to charge his way back up the field.
Yeah, and he will too. And as he gets it all kind of sideways there as he's coming up towards just past there now. He's up through McPhillamy as a great place to be. If you ever go to Bathurst, folks, and want to see some action, go up there. Absolutely awesome to see them come across the mountain. But yeah, Shiro, he was saying earlier, as I was saying, he starts at the back at the start, just in case they need to pull a yellow. Of course, Shiro is the host of this this great league, and then he pushes forward. His helmet, though, he doesn't look that friendly when you see him in the car.
No, but he's a bit of a character, as you can tell from the theme song as well, Bernie. As I'm just saying, there was a battle going on between Hardsey and Rusty, but it looks like Rusty's pulled into the pits from P4, Bernie. We're just on lap 7, so he's really he's pulled on the brakes or throw the anchors out of the way in the pits to avoid that speeding penalty, and that was looking like a great race. Although Rusty, he's pulled in now for this is his second pit stop, I believe. Yes, it is. Just the 4-lap stint for him in that one, and dropping him back down the order once again. I feel like there's going to be so much action on the pits. Birdie's going to be as equal to that on the track. Yeah,
well, considering they've only got a range of about 4 to 5 laps max, we're going to see them in probably quite a lot. Probably about 9 to 10 times, not including when those random safety cars come out. So it's going to be great action. Give a shout out to Daniel Leet, folks. He said it's good to hear us out here having a bit of a commentary together, and he's loving the Subarus at Bathurst. So right back at you, Daniel.
Yeah, great to be back here, mate. It's just like old times, and I'm enjoying the battle up front at the same time. Scalzi now right on the back. He's closed up a couple of seconds on Horgan there. I don't know if Horgan made a mistake. Scalzi's just found another leg, but he's now within almost half a second, just the 6 or 7 tenths now. And look who's looming in the background, AJ Team Milo. Oh, as Horgan puts it into the wall. Rolling back there, Bernie. Look at that. Our race leader is put it in the wall on the approach to the elbow there. That's going to be tough for him to come back to. But in this event, as we've said, you're never out of it. You can see him. He was coming across the top of the mountain fine there, folks. Goes down through the S's on the way to the cutting there. He through the dipper on the approach to the elbow there. It looks like he shifted to the weight to the front of the car, grabbed too much brakes, and then the nose is pointed to the outside of the car. So easy to do there, Bernie. You're on the downhill run. The rear of the car steps out and can put you either inside or out. And in this case, it was outside for Hawkon, our race leader, who's then turned it, looped it around, and he's got away, Bernie. And if we jump forward now to where he is on the track, he's just coming into the pits to grab one of his 5 fast repairs and see what he can make of it. He's already down to 5th, 6th position, Bernie, but long night ahead potentially for Hawkon.
Yeah, he's going to have to put his head down now, isn't he, and push forward. But I'm sure I saw a wily coyote down there changing the arrow like you see in the cartoons, and he pointed it to the right and ran off.
Well, if there was a Team Milo car in front of him, I might have said they had the magic oil button under the dash or something. But yeah, you're right. He did exit stage right, as it were, and that's allowed, said Team Milo racer in AJ. He's stuck behind Scolsey at the moment, having both of them taken advantage of that. We're on lap 8 now. They've only done the one pit stop, those two. So it's interesting to note that with all these frequent pit stops, Hawkon's not that far out of cycle, to be honest. He's third out of those who've taken 2 pit stops, which really doesn't cost him too much overall. And with his pace, as I've seen over the duration of this season, he's every chance to get back up the front.
Well, exactly right. We're only into lap 7 here at the moment, so, and with the random safety cars, that'll close it up. Even if he went down a lap, he's going to get that back under the random safety car. So I reckon as long as you're in the race, you're in it with the potential to win this race. But one looks like, yes, I was about to say, you've got a fan out there. Big shout out to Stan Mechanic, and he's the big fan of the McBeard face.
Yeah, he's been I've known Stan for a little while, I think, from my stream over the top split, and we had a bit of fun over there too. Speaking of which, after the race will be for the drivers, at least, as we see Scolsey pull in for his pit stop. Interestingly, AJ staying out for another lap, showing that they can do maybe the 4 to 5 laps on a tank if you save and run a bit smart. We'll be doing a lucky door prize in addition to the prizes on offer here tonight. Later, for the drivers, we'll be running a lucky door prize just briefly over on the top split. So even more for the guys to play for tonight.
Yeah, that's going to happen after. Oh, as we see Dragol there get it all sorts of wrong. He's still in the dirt. Maybe he's getting confused here. Well, I guess, they are rallycross cars, so...
Yeah, exactly right. You may as well use every bit of the track. The guys have got 50 incident points to play with tonight, so they do grip up a bit better than the usual things we run around here, Bernie. So just stretching the legs of the Subi here tonight. Yeah,
so Dragol there having a good one. But yeah, so that's post-race. So go over there to, what is it, twitch.tv/TopSplit?
Top Split TV, that's right. That's where the drivers and their supporters will just, anyone who finishes the race tonight will be in the running for a lucky door prize. I think we've got a Subaru shirt and $20 iRacing credits just for a quick little round out to the night for the club, Bernie.
Yeah, fantastic, and that's where the party is after the race, folks. If you can get a Guernsey and get an invite into it, go over there and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's it. I was just following Dragol there for a moment, Bernie in P3. The rear of the car really going wild. He clipped the wall up on the approach to Solomon. Looks to have kept it pretty straight, though. The Ovaltine driver tonight, he's 12 seconds off P3. This field really starting to spread out now, but managing to keep on there, ducking back to Hawkon now. He's up to P7. He's once again the 4th driver who's made 2 pit stops and looking to charge his way back. AJ now coming down into the chase on the tail end of lap 9. You've got to think he's got to come in for a pit stop this lap, Bernie, as we see. Yeah, he's just pulling in now. Really at the extent of this track, but it shows that you can really do the 4 or 5 laps, because 9 laps, 2 stops, that means one of them's got to be a 5-lap stint, but certainly doable here tonight.
Yeah, well, he's just shown that, and Hardsy's now following him in the Budweiser entry, and we'll see what Dragol's going to do. Is he going to come in? Yes, he does. I'll tell you what, one thing that's really exciting is the soft suspension in these cars. You watch them as they come across the top, lifting the inside wheel. They're actually getting air as they go up Mountain Straight, lifting the front wheels completely off the ground. The other exciting thing was I was watching Hawkon come down through the S's and into the dipper there. I don't know if he meant it, but he was doing a 4-wheel drift all the way through the S's down there, and I was expecting him to hit the wall, but for some reason he managed to thread that needle.
Yeah, well, these cars are designed to get a bit sideways and still keep going. That's what they do for a living. A couple of the guys I know were threatening to use the handbrake in a couple of these quarters too, so just for a bit of added excitement as Hawkon now drives past Hardsey up Mountain Straight on the start of lap 10. He's back up in the top 5, Bernie. So like we say, you're never out of this race, and that's something we've learned over the last 6 months. You can bin it early and yet still come back, and as Hawkon's showing right now, you're in it right until the death.
Yeah, and he made sure he drove that car down Conrod. He didn't get the tow, which is to his benefit, that's for sure, because if he had a tow, he would have been punished a lot more, wouldn't he?
Well, he would have, but like I said, tonight punished perhaps less so, because when that random yellow comes out, assuming there's no full course cautions for major incidents, which fortunately we've managed to avoid for nearly the entire season, which is a testament to the quality of the driving that we see here week in, week out. The guys that do have to tow and get lapped, they'll be given a wave around. So plenty to play for from that perspective as well. You're never out of it, and it's really interesting format, this one, in so much as the admins are always looking for ways to keep people in the race, Bernie.
Yeah, that's a fun thing about it, isn't it? And getting out there and having a bit of fun, and they're all still out there. The last guy at the moment is Pete, is running in 20th, and I'm just having a look. Pete's done 2 stops and is pushing forward. Cool Runnings, well, he's done 3 stops now and sitting in 19th.
Yeah, that's right. Pete's a great character in the club. He's just made his way. He's moved up to Queensland to take on a new job up there, and he's done some real improvements in his racing. He struggled early on. He's working really hard to make better, but it's even better to see him out here for the finale, Benny, because I know he's just picked up his life and moved up north, and to have him out on track tonight when we didn't think we'd have him is great to see, even though he might be struggling a bit all the way down in P20 tonight. I know he'll be having a big grin at the same time.
Yeah, that's it, and that's what it's all about. And at the moment, though, Scholzy is trying to chase down AJ. AJ tonight, I think he's a bit of the hare, isn't he? He's out there setting the pace, and we'll see if anyone can pull him in, but he's looking mighty racy.
Yeah, absolutely he is. Hawkon in P5 and AJ have had a really strong rivalry throughout the FNRC events, both on a Friday and a Saturday night. And when they're not taking each other out, they're putting on a fantastic show. Even though Hawkon's, how far is he back now? About just under 13 seconds off the lead. My bet is that those two will have a bit of nose-to-tail racing before the night's out, Bernie.
Yeah, well, Hawkon at the moment, we're riding on the roof cam with him. He's chasing down Woodsy just ahead of him. Bring up the telemetry so you can see he's up into 6th gear. He dropped it down to 5th, as you're saying. Has to do that to turn it in. Looks like Woodsy decided he was going to try it in 6th, and that's exactly what you're saying. The car just doesn't turn in.
Yeah, you struggle just to get the nose of the car or the rear of the car to step out enough to get around. You just don't get that turn in. It's really awkward there with the gearing. Of course, these cars are not used to this sort of length of track or the high-end speeds. You're used to the tight turns and being able to whip the car around on the dirt as much as anything else. You really have to combine as much as you can the skill and the knowledge that you have about road racing just with the softer suspension and the way these cars are set up for what they usually do out on a rallycross course. It's a really interesting challenge, and I know the guys, like I said, we've raced 24 different cars here this season, this making the 25th. The guys will certainly be not only up for the challenge but probably embracing it at the same time.
Yeah, well, it makes it very interesting. I remember casting my memory back to one of your streams there. I was watching you there, and you were in some old school open wheeler, and you tended to knock the nose off going through the dipper. And I recall you were talking to someone about the trick was not to ride down the middle of Conrod Straight, because if you did, it bottomed out. So you guys were trying to go left or right down there. So that pretty much sums it up, I think.
Yeah, that's right. You get to know a bit about the track when you do it for 200 Ks a week. But that was in the Lotus 79. I had a special livery made up from one of my viewers on Twitch. Lock of War, he made up a nice McBeard face pink livery for my two daughters, and you could tell when he gave the nose a little nudge because the McBeard face name would jump up. But you're right, you do bottom out in certain cars if you go down the centre of the Conrod Straight, and like I said, Bernie, it comes with a little bit of local knowledge after doing, I think, like I said, I added up, will be, after tonight, the guys will have done nearly 900 laps if they've been here every week. So that's a lot of racing here, and yet we keep turning up each week because it's that much fun, and this track represents such a challenge.
Yeah, that's it. And, hopefully I'll be able to join you guys next season and have a bit of a run now that I don't have other commitments, which will be good to turn a few laps with some friendly faces.
Well, that's it, mate. And then at the end of each race, you get to have a jump and a bit of a bash around as well. But look, it's great fun. It's a great night out. Oh, Lesbos in the Muppets car. He's just gone around at the elbow, Bernie. I was just jumping on there because he was right up the back of someone, and my guess is that in trying to really put pressure on who was that in front of him? Was that Dragol in front of him? He just lost the rear again, pointing to the outside of the track. Seems to be a common little thing. It was Dragol in front of him there, Bernie, as they came down there on the approach to the elbow now. My guess is that the rear's going to step out on him, similar to what happened to Hawk on the other Ovaltine driver early in the race. In that downhill braking zone on the approach to the elbow, you can see just near the Falcon sign, he grabbed the brakes, pinched the rears, and around she goes, Bernie, nose first into the outside. It's interesting that that's the second time we've seen that. It seems to be a bit of a characteristic with the setup of the car. You've got to get your braking really spot on when it comes to the elbow tonight, Bernie.
Yeah, certainly do. I was having a close look there to see if he had been lifting any tyres, but I'd say what's happening is that it's unloading in that left, grabbing the brake and steering them into the corner. But AJ at the moment in the 77 is having no problems at all as he leads this. The gap at the moment, folks, 4.4 seconds, so your top 10 as we come up to lap 12. AJ is leading the way over Skolty in second. 4.4 seconds was the gap at the line. Gazza sitting in third, but it looks like Gazza's found the wall and he's dropped down, and looks like Hardsey has moved up there. Dragol is in fifth as he gets all sorts of sideways up as he approaches McPhillamy. Then we've got Rusty sitting in sixth position, Hawkon seventh, eighth is Woodsy, ninth Shiro. So Shiro's on the way back, and running out your top 10 is Mother.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on Hawkon. He's had his third pit stop there, Bernie, in P7, as you say. The only one in front of him who's had three pit stops is Rusty. So we can see how those shake out. What are we on the lap 13 now? If AJ's true to form, he'll probably do at least one more. Yes, he's staying out this time round, Bernie. He'll do at least one more as he goes round, as we said, to round out lap 13. Although behind him, Skoltzy, he's ducking. He's run really wide on the approach. Oh, he's just missed the wall there, Bertie. Don't break the limit there, Skoltzy. Keep on it. Interesting to see that Skoltzy seems to be consistently coming in at least a lap earlier than AJ. I don't know if AJ's being able to save a bit of fuel on the way as we see Gazza come in as well then.
Yeah, and it sounds a bit funny, but with the amount of pit stops these guys are doing, if AJ can get the full 5 laps each stint, it's going to save him probably a pit stop at the end.
Yeah, it could very well, Bernie, because if you 10 stops at 5 laps a stint is 50, of course, which is the number of laps that we're doing. 10 stops at 4 laps, that leaves you 10 shy. It could be 2 stops in there, Bernie. Less, of course, a bit of fuel saving under the safety car. So, yeah, look, there's some real advantage in dragging it out as long as you can.
Yeah, well, exactly right. And remember, folks, we do have 2 random safety cars coming out sometime tonight. And as we always did in the AOSC, we went out on the street today, found some poor sod walking up the street. Alex grabbed him. I put a bag over his head. We've locked him up in the RRTV torture room. All he's got to do is press the red button when he gets the electric shock. If he does it right, we'll let him out. If he doesn't, well, he'll have to stay there for the second safety car.
Well, that's it. He might even get a bit of a cheese if he does a good job, doesn't he, eh?
Yeah, possibly.
Just thinking of the mouse in the sides of the right? That's it, yeah. But, just keeping an eye now on Scholz as we see him on screen there, coming across over the top. Really challenging section of the track here, of course, through the S's there. Grabs a bit of the curb on the inside. Comes down now into the dipper. These cars are actually okay through here. The softer suspension helping a little bit with the undulations of the circuit. You've just got to be mindful, as we've seen already. Get your braking right, not too hard through the elbow there. Third gear, as we see there on screen there through the elbow, and predominantly the slow corners here are done in third gear. The gearing on these cars is really tight, which is why you can see already into sixth gear, 260 k's an hour approaching there as we come under the bridge into the fastest corner in Australian motor racing, 260. These guys are thrashing these engines on the way here, braking really early as they come in, as he comes into the chase now, burning into third once again. It's really surprising that the gear on this car, how high you can go through these corners. But look, a lot of fun at the same time. Turning into the final corner now, once again in third gear, showing again how tight the ratio is on these cars as he crosses the line on the tail end of 15 burner.
Yeah, and he's coming down into hell corner there, and third once more, sliding it through and back up onto Mountain Straight. So guys are absolutely having a ball out there at the moment. One thing that I thought was interesting, in the car you can't hear the backfiring, where outside you can.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. The only time I've heard the backfiring in the car is when it's idling. I tell you what, the Subi sounds really nice, just even at idle. And then you fire it up and you're just punching through the gears. They're so short and sharp, and the acceleration's so good. But you've also got to watch wheel spin as you light them up as well, because that'll cost you acceleration. You think you're shifting through the gears, but the wheels are spinning so fast the car's struggling to catch up with you.
Yeah, of course, these cars are set up like sprinter type settings, aren't they? And what I mean by that is they're rallycross cars, so they have to get off the line fast, get out of the corners super quickly, and of course around those tight, challenging circuits across the asphalt as well as the dirt. And it's great to see that iRacing is continuing to push that. Be interesting to see if one day we ever get rally cars on a rally track, but you know, I'm sounding like a spoiled kid at the moment.
That's it. Yeah, it would be interesting to see if they do that. I think they could focus on a bit more variety in the track and really try and generate that interest. It came out with a flurry, hasn't seemed to maintain the interest of the iRacing community too much, but having said that, the diehards love it. Just jumping and looking at the moment at Hawkon, our early race leader who had that incident. He's had his 3 pit stops, as has everyone else in that leading pack, all the way down to Mother in P13 who's at 4. Hawkon back up to P5 now. He's got Woodsy right on his tail as they come into the chase on the tail end of lap 15 now. Woodsy getting a beautiful turn in there, just clipping the curb through the chase there and using that softer suspension there. Hawkon getting a nice drive out of there though. As they press the final corner, closing right up. Oh, he just avoided there. Woodsy just avoided giving Hawkon a touch there. It was nice, clean racing. Of course, Woodsy pulled it up just in time. The car going sideways. Excellent car control there under heavy braking once again. Bertie, what's he doing there? I don't know if Hawkon's braking super early or Woodsy, by the look of it, maybe braking a bit late. One thing I did find in these cars, Bernie, was that braking earlier than you think really helps and you get that helps cater to the understeer that you see if you carry too much speed into these corners. As Hawkon does exactly that, Bernie, carries too much speed into Griffins, leaves the door open, but forces Woodsy to the outside on the approach to the cutting there, Bernie. Breaking into the cutting early stages now, onto the approach to the cutting now. Again, Hawkon carrying perhaps a bit too much speed, missing the apex of the cutting, leaving Woodsy all over his tail once again, right out to the extreme left of the track. Oh, Hawkon once again suffering from understeer. I wonder if he's starting to lose some tyres there, Bernie. He might want to think about taking a set in his next stop there as they chase each other once again across the top of the tail, right up through that corner there, Bernie, on the approach to Skyline. Now down through the S's, and this battle is really heating up.
Certainly is, as are Hawkon's tyres. As we ride on the nose cam there with Woodsy, he's getting out of the corners really well. That is Hawkon, but he's just suffering a bit on that turning. So you could be right. He might need to throw a new set of tyres on that car next time through. Looking at the times, it doesn't look like maybe AJ has with a 16.9 second stop.
Yeah, potentially. 16 seconds would suggest of stationary time would suggest tyres there, Bernie. And he's lapping his, well, we can't see his last lap relative because it was a pit stop lap. But his best lap so far is a 2:07.6, with Hawkon just a fraction better with a 2:07.4. Anyone matching them in terms of overall, as we see Woodsy now pull off into the pits to make his fourth stop on lap 7. He's only done a 3-lap stint, interestingly, but Rusty's also in there, so perhaps he's looking to team up with Rusty and see what they can make of it, Bernie.
Yeah, possibly. Now, I was looking at that based on their pit stops. It looks like to me Woodsy last time threw a set of fresh tyres on, so may not be Hawkon's tyres going off. It might be more a case that Woodsy had fresh tyres and was hounding him.
Yeah, that makes sense. Look, interesting. We're going to have a lot of pit stops tonight. Some guys might feel that they can't wait for those random yellows to take those tyres, Bernie. But yeah, look there. Woodsy just had a stationary time of 9 seconds that time through, which suggests absolutely he just took fuel. And AJ, the first of the lead bunch, not only up the front of the race, but he's the last one who took tyres down all the way to P7 from what I can tell, which we were following in Woodsy, Bernie.
Yeah, I reckon AJ at the moment's a big standout here. He's taking it absolutely to the maximum as far as fuel goes, and he's been playing the smart run tonight, and 8.9 seconds is that gap, so it could be a good one for Team Milo tonight.
Yeah, it's looking good early. It'd be a matter of whether or not AJ can keep his concentration. We're used to doing about 32 laps, which is, a mini enduro, if you like. Takes between sort of an hour and a quarter and 2 hours, depending on the cars that we're driving. But interesting to see. So on this stint, Scalzi, of course, pitted at least a lap earlier than AJ last time round. He's already on lap 3 of his latest stint. Even if he pushes to 4, that means that AJ, who's currently on lap 2, has got another 3 to go. So he'll be 2 laps ahead in terms of that gaining that extra pit stop already, Bernie. Scalzi stays out this time round, and AJ crossing the line on the tail end of lap 18. Scalzi now rounding the final corner now, and he's on the 4th lap of his stint, whereas AJ's only on the 3rd. And like we said, that pit stop strategy, being able to extend, perhaps save a bit of fuel each time, or maybe risking the wrath of the yellow flag, folks. Because what will happen is when that random yellow gets thrown, if you don't have enough fuel to get around under caution for the first lap, you cop an end-of-line penalty because the pits are closed until the second time round with the pace car. So there's a bit of risk-reward in what AJ's doing. We see Hawkon taking fuel and tyres. We see him up on the jacks now, so we should see about a 15-second stop for Hawkon this time round. 15, 16 now. Wow, he's 17 seconds that time round. We definitely saw him take tyres, so perhaps we were on the money there, Bernie, when we thought his tyres might be going away a bit on him.
Yeah, possibly, but now we also have a benchmark, which we thought was around about 16, 17 seconds for tyres and fuel. That's what it looks like, and keep an eye on that. Pete has gone down 1 lap, but it looks like he's had to have a tow back to the pits, and that's probably why he did, but don't count him out because he'll get that wave by as soon as the random safety car comes out. And at the moment, though, Team Milo, AJ, he should join my team because he's looking very quick.
Oh, Bertie, that's a perler. Just spotted Shero in the pits, mate. He looks like he's grabbing tyres as well as he drops down off the jacks now, looking to move away. That's his 4th pit stop. So as we see AJ coming through the chase on the tail end of lap 18 now. Now he's done 3 laps on this stint. Yep, staying out for another. Scalzi, who's just going through the chase now in P2, Bernie. He's on his 4th lap of this stint. Be interested to see if he's pulling in. Consistent. He's worried about that the rear of the car stepping out as he's using the rallycross background of that car to do to his full advantage on the approach in. Now AJ, the leader's on the start of lap 19. This random yellow is due any time between lap 20 and 38, I think, is the last window for those two. As we see Gazza come into the pits now as well, Bernie.
Yeah, and every time they only do those 4 laps and AJ gets the 5, they're pretty much giving AJ that free kick and that advantage. But I tell you what, Rusty and Woodsy here are going at it, and Woodsy's all over the back of Rusty. Always he throws it in, gets it all sorts of sideways. That's rallycross for you.
100%. Now, when I heard the boys threatening to use the handbrake into some of these corners, I didn't think they were serious. But Woodsy, once again, he showed behind Hawk-On earlier that he's the last of the late breakers when it comes to corner entry here, and yet he still manages to not lose a lot of time as he's tucked right in behind Rusty and Dragol there as they fight it out for second, third and fourth, Bernie.
Yeah, that was classic, wasn't it? And Simo on the inside there, who's above them there? Dragol there. He checked up there at the cutting, and I thought Woodsy was going to get into the back of Rusty, but they continue going through. We've got to give Dragol a different name. He's got to be something like Draggy or something.
Dragging his way around for Timo. Oh, Woodsy into the wall, perhaps not slowing down enough through Solomon and Reed McPhillamy there as he heads over into Skyline. Now he's managed to hang on to it, Bernie. The car looks pretty straight, and we know he likes to put it sideways anyway, so he'll be looking forward to perhaps grabbing a fast repair next time through the pits, Bernie.
Yeah, let's have a look at the Central Coast Subaru replay here. We're riding with him at the time, and let's have a look here. It just didn't... Oh, yeah, he's just got it drifted out into the wall twice there and collected it.
Yeah, it just looked like he carried a little bit too much speed through there. These cars, they do suffer from quite a bit of understeer if you carry too much speed through the corners, and I found the best way to counter that in the laps that I was running was just to brake that bit earlier than you would expect. I suspect. These cars are really fun, really quick, but you do need to give them that little bit of extra time to slow down, as we see Dragol now pulling into the pits from P2. He's done a 4-lap stint. AJ in front of him is out of the pits, our leader. He has done his 4th pit stop, as have the remainder of the top 5. Dragol being the last one, who's dropping down the order into P6 at the moment, with Hazy directly behind him in P7. The last of the guys in the field, actually, to take their 4th pit stop being.
Yeah, and Hawk-On, he's taken 5 pit stops, but that's okay. He that was due to the wall that he ran into down there at Forest Elbow. But as you were saying earlier, and this underlines that he's already back up to 5th position and pushing on.
Yeah, look, he's just under 2.5 seconds behind Skolci in P4. Skolci, interestingly, he's dropped back a spot. Because he took tyres. He had a 16.5 second stop last time through, Bernie, and that's cost him 3rd position. In fact, it might have... No, it's just cost him the 3rd position with Rusty of his own accord up now behind AJ and P2. But AJ, I tell you what, he's out by 21 seconds out in front as that battle that we've got going on with Woodsy and Rusty now is continuing to rage on, and Woodsy, of course, putting on a great show for the fans tonight with the sideways action as they come into the elbow once again. Look at the correction mid-corner there, Bernie. Had a good run, little touch of the wall on the way out of it. But the correction mid-corner was fantastic and really showing the control that Woodsy's got over this machine.
Yeah, he took a leaf out of Dick Johnson's books there, collecting the wall on the exit. The only difference is he didn't find the trees.
Yeah, that's right. They've got walls up there these days. I imagine they went up pretty quick after what happened to Mr. Dick back in all those years ago. Famous moment as that was. But Woodsy, of course, now on the tail. Oh, no, he's going to pull into the pits. He's only done a 3-lap stint. Again, people mindful of that caution that's going to come out soon and lock the pits up. Perhaps AJ Look, he's only on his first lap of this new stint. Rusty running the gauntlet now as he's on the fourth lap of his stint, Bernie. Look, it's going to be interesting to see who gets caught out here, in between pit stops and fuel and all the rest of it. You can save a lot of fuel around here under yellow, Bernie, but can those guys hanging on, like the likes of Rusty, who's running the gauntlet there with on the fifth lap of his current stint, can they run the gauntlet successfully? That's the question.
Yeah, I reckon Woodsy's put the wind up him and he's not game to stop. He just wants to get a gap behind him so that he doesn't have to fight him again. But I was thinking I might change my nickname for this series. Instead of B-Dub, I might have to be Burnsy.
Well, you've got to have an E or an O or Burno or something like that. I mean, that's it, isn't it? I mean, that's the flavour of it. I mean, I'll tell you what, we get some cracking names in the series, and it's all about the fun after all, isn't it?
It certainly is. It's funny though, when the first drive I went in there, I don't recognise any of them. The only one was I recognised your name, and you're racing all these strangers. But here we go, folks. The safety car has been called, and if you heard that little scream in the background, that was the person being prodded to press the button. They did press it, so they can have one banana or something.
Well, I've got a nice square of coon cheese here for them, Bern.
Coon cheese.
But what we do have now, folks, is pit lane is closed. The safety car will look to find our leader, AJ, who's in a really good position. Rusty, he's the one I'm feeling for, Bernie. The question is, can he get around? Another lap while these pits are closed, or suffer the end of line penalty that comes with... he's staying out. Look at that. No, he's going to run the gauntlet again, Bertie. I tell you what, that's risky business at this stage. But he has stayed out, and it looks like he'll try and make his way around. He'll find the safety cars up Mountain Straight with AJ just behind it. I'm just looking to see who'll get the wave around. It looks like Kev Willman. Kev is in P20. He looks like he might have retired, but Pete, who's in P19, when he gets on the back of the line, he'll get the wave around by the looks, Bernie. The lucky dog, as they call it in oval racing.
Yeah, he'll get the lucky dog. We'll jump back here and see what we can see happen to Kev here on the Central Coast Subaru, and he's having a bit of a rough night here. But he also came unstuck by the looks of it. Oh yeah, straight up into the wall there. Where was that? That was up just around about Frog Hollow, I think it was.
Yeah, look, and he, judging by the helmet he's wearing, he didn't look real happy about it, did he? But that's life, I'm afraid. I'm surprised Kev didn't stick around. It's a shame for him, but as we've been saying all night, you can actually come back from an event like that. And I'll tell you what, speaking of having to come back, Pete, he might be a lap down, but he's also going to be struggling with fuel. This is the fifth lap of his stint, as it is for Rusty, who's tucked in behind. I think he's still tucked in behind AJ. Yes, he is, looking to get it round. Pete, he might have to suffer the. He's staying out. Pete, you got to go in, mate. You got to go in. What are you doing, son? Oh dear, that's interesting. It'll be interesting to see if he can. I don't know that he can make it around after that, Bernie.
Well, these blokes are still racing.
Yeah, no, I think are you still in replay mode, mate? You might be a bit behind, or am I a bit behind? I don't know.
No, we're not in replay mode. That's live pictures, mate.
Maybe I'm confused. Sorry, mate.
Because we can see them coming down the mountain. They're going up the mountain while the rest of the crew's coming down. So not sure what that's all about.
Why I'm confused. Maybe that's why I'm confused. I've got Pete going up the mountain. I'm really not sure if he is going to make it round. He's on the sixth lap of this current stint, and I'm tasked with giving him the wave around, but I don't know that he's going to catch up to the back of the others at this stage. Maybe it'll have to be further on. I don't know. But I'll try and get him around if I can.
Well, if he gets to the top of the mountain, I have heard you can roll to the pits from there.
Well, that's what I think he's going to be doing, because these cars, they don't have much fuel in them. 6 laps in, they're going to have even less, because the thing with being so far off the back is you've got to catch them before you can pass them too, and that takes fuel as well.
Well, by the time he catches them, he's going to have a pit stop, and I think he's run out of fuel now. Yeah, he has.
Yeah,
he's run out right at the top of the mountain. And they can't pass him because it's under yellow. So they're just going to have to sit behind him and maybe push him along. Maybe that's the plan.
Yeah, mate, who's behind him there? It's, you can just see. Who's behind him? It's Brindy and what have you. Oh, they're stuck.
So what happens here, because he's out of fuel, they can't pass him because they'll get a black flag. What happens if he stops? Do they all have to stop?
He'll pull over, and he should pull over and tow, and that'll clear the problem for everyone else.
Yeah, that's what he's doing now. I don't know who that was racing through, one of the Red Bull cars.
Yeah, he's towed now. That'll clear it for everyone. They'll be right. Just trying to see. Other than Pete, there's no one a lap down. So just everyone else is able to. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, who's that car? The Red Bull. Trying to get a number, 085.
It's not Cool Runnings, I think you've got on picture at the moment.
Yeah, it's Cool Runnings. Have a look at the replay of this as they were all checking up. I don't think he lifted.
All right, let's grab a look, Bernie, and see what happened.
We'll go back a bit further. And just have a look at this. As we're coming down, I might even jump into the cockpit view here. So with Cool Runnings here, the guys up front are checking up, okay? And you'll see them now waiting for the guy to pull out of the pits. Oh, he's actually slowing up. Yeah, he looked a lot faster then. There he goes.
I think he was carrying. He just got caught out, and everyone dove to the right. He dove the furthest to the right. Just perhaps got caught out on that one, but no, he's back on track now. He's got his fast repair, and he should be right. I'm still waiting. Hang on, Rusty. Wave by. No, he's in pits as well.
Yeah, and
I was trying to wave Pete and Rusty by, but they both had to tow, I think.
Yeah, they have, but they're doing it on purpose, you know. I told them if they can confuse you, I slip them a $5 each time, so that's what they're doing. But AJ at the moment, he's got Dragol behind him, so let's have a look at your top 10 as I'll restart here. AJ will start out front, Dragol in second, Mother third, fourth Hardsey. Then we've got Nico back there in fifth with Woodsy in sixth, Scholzy 7th, 8th is Gaza, 9th is Hawkon, and rounding out your top 10 is Dales.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Bern, it's going to be an expensive night for you if all they got to do is confuse me, mate. You're paying $5 a go.
Yeah, well,
Rusty's just come out. So Rusty's just come out of the pits, and I don't know that he'll have time to catch him up to get the wave around. Although, no, it looks like he's stayed on the same lap, which is great news. And it's just Pete now we're waiting for.
Yeah, Rusty's on the lead lap. Pete is not moving at the moment. He's waiting for that tow, I'd say, to take care of that. We should give a shout out to Sam. He's at, and happy birthday to his nephew. 20 years old. Can you remember when you were 20?
Yeah, mate, that's just about when I moved to Canberra, as it turns out. But Sam Catagazino, shame Sam's not here tonight. He finished P6 in the overall standings for the 24-round season. Would have been great to see him mix it up in the Subies tonight. But as it stands, we're coming to the tail end of our first safety car period. The guys coming down down Conrod Straight at the moment. Look at that, it's a beautiful picture. Look at all those Rexes coming down the Conrod Straight, Bertie. Is there anything nicer you could see on a Saturday night?
I could think of a few things, but yeah, it's a pretty picture.
Go with me, Bertie. Come on, work with me. Oh, dear. So these guys now, we're on lap 23. Of course, they do the 2 full laps under safety car, and the guys getting ready to go again here. The safety car will pull in. The leader, of course, must wait and must not pass the safety cars. As we see Mother up in P3. Fantastic job from him. The sort of gentleman's rule here is they wait for the green light. And there it is, I think. And Mother getting a fantastic start. Pulls up alongside Dragol and looks to get the move done into turn one. Looks to not compromise too much on that line, but beautiful run out once again. As Nico behind, putting pressure. Sorry, Woodsy behind, putting pressure on Nico once again. And once again, we've got a bunch of cars looking to make a great picture as we head up Mountain Straight after the start of that the race once again, Ben.
You can see Hardsey there. He's looking on the back of Dragol and decided to tuck back in there. Nico's right behind him. Yeah, nice clean start once again. And AJ, though, he's leading them up the mountain. 27 laps remaining. We are almost at the halfway mark.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, I've heard some action behind. Yeah, a bit of a pile up there. The Muppets. Oh, big. Oh, I'm wondering if we throw the yellow there.
Yeah, it's out. It's out. Yeah, yellow's out.
They've thrown it. Yeah, okay.
Let's have a look at the
replay. I tell you what, that's a parking lot at the shopping centre on a Saturday morning rather than a Saturday night, Bernie. That was a big one.
Let's keep an eye on the Muppet here as he's coming up the hill. They've already crashed. That was the 111, I think it was, being launched, and that's pretty much started it, didn't it? The 51 had nowhere to go, and yep, that's what it's like shopping in the mornings.
I'll tell you what, I was out at Costco this morning. Oh, I'll tell you what, I reckon that would have been easier than my drive through the car park there. I'll tell you, it was a bit of a nightmare, but that was a massive incident there, Bernie. And I know the guys have usually have no dramas with this sort of thing, but unfortunately tonight that was a big one. So I know the guys will be looking to pick up the pieces, and because, like I said, you've got another random yellow still to come. Believe it or not, they're still not out of it, so anyone can still win it from here, although AJ's looking pretty tough to beat.
Yeah, he certainly is. So Les Boss there will bring them up a car down, get a fast repair. But yeah, speaking of parking lots, I went shopping today at the Canberra Centre, and it's 2 lanes. You go through the ticket, and then it merges into one. And some goose decided he was going to overtake me on the outside, and he didn't.
Of course he does.
He didn't even lift. I was very impressed.
Mate, hashtag never lift, mate. And it's always done around the outside, don't you know that? The best moves are done around the outside. That's the golden rule, right? So they're the ones that get you on the replays anyway, right?
Yeah, he had this big grey beard.
I don't know. What's with these blokes with beards? What are they doing? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was a young bloke with a baseball cap on the wrong way. You know, those types.
Of course. And he couldn't hear the car for the doof, I bet, either.
Yeah, he had his arm out the window and doof going, and he was in, I don't know, his mum's Corolla or something.
That's it. Brad wants to see the Bailey Ladders livery, Bernie. I don't know who's got that one on. Might have to see if we can't pick it up as the safety car has picked up the AJ, the leader, up Mountain Straight once again.
I did see it out there. We'll go through and find it. I think it's Wayno. It's Woodsy that's got it, I think. Let's bring up...
Oh, he does too.
Bring up Woodsy. So let's bring Woodsy up on the picture. Yeah, I saw that before, and I was wondering what that livery was all about. But
that's the laser racing. A lot of the guys in the FNRC, the original FNRC crew, were part of the laser racing team, and it looks like Woodsy's sporting that livery here tonight.
Yeah, the Bailey Ladders, and he's got something written on the front of it as well, Racing for Bailey or something, I think it says. So, yeah, but there it is, folks. Beautiful livery, isn't it?
Yeah, stand strong with Bailey is what I'm reading there, Bernie. So, yeah, there you go. That's what a good ladder you'd want to do with, right? Stand strong with it?
I don't know. What's a ladder?
Bailey's ladder. You got to stand strong with your ladder, Bernie.
Okay. I live in an apartment. I don't think I've got a ladder.
Oh, there you go. Tell you what, lining up in P7 behind the safety cars, early race leader Håkon Grebstad. Håkon. Car number 37, what's he had here? He's had 5 pit stops. Woodsy in front of him, if you can believe it's had 6. I would be surprised if the guys don't jump in and take the opportunity to grab fuel this lap. There's a couple of them who've done 5 laps on this stint, including AJ. perfect timing to take a pit stop as the pits will open this time round. And I'm wondering if I do get a chance to wave Pete around this time, as he looks like he might even get on the back. He might get on the back here, Bernie, so I might get my chance to wave him around.
Well, I think you got 3 you got to wave around. I think you got to do Pete, Gazza and Jace.
I do. I've got, where's Gazza? He's in the pits. Jace is also in the pits. It's going to be Pete that I get to wave around. How many? Yeah, I can. Hang on. Let me just find him.
Oh,
Let's give him a wave around. There we go. Pete was waved around the pace car. Beautiful.
There he goes. Put his brakes on.
Go on, Pete. I just gave him the wave.
I don't know who's more confused here.
There he goes. He's around. Come on, everyone. It's like the Red Sea. Let Pete through. There he goes. Perfect.
You've done your job, mate. You've done your job.
I had one thing to do tonight, Bernie. That was it.
That was it.
Go, Pete. Don't hit the pace car.
Oh, dear.
I'm hoping he's on his 3rd lap. I hope he doesn't have to pit. I think he should be all right, though.
That'd be hilarious. Wave him through and he comes in the pits. We'll see.
No, beautiful. The race can continue. He'll get back on the lead lap. Where's Jace? No, he's stuck in the pits. Gazza, I can give him a wave around too if he gets it. No, he's on the lead lap. That's fine. So we've got everyone, with the exception of Jace, whose car just looked like it blew up in the pits. AJ coming into the pits now, our race leader. Everyone's on the lead lap. And after this, I tell you what, Mother deciding that he wants to get past in the pits, almost copped a penalty there, I would have thought. But look at him 2x2 now. Jace looks like he's just got in there.
I think Jace is smoking the peace pipe or something. I don't know what he's doing, but wow, look at these cars. Look how high they lift. How awesome.
Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? They got the in-car jacks. Jace has come out. Looks like he's going to be on the lead lap, potentially down in P18. Yeah, I've got him on the lead lap, so he doesn't need the wave around. He's just behind Pete in that regard.
Oh, dear.
We should be right. But I tell you what, AJ, 37 seconds in the lane, which seems to be a fairly lengthy stop. And what's happened here? He's dropping back. What's the penalty?
He's had a penalty, end-of-line penalty on pit entry. Speeding in the pits, possibly?
Yeah. No, he must have overtaken the safety car.
Well, he didn't have much choice because Mother was on the inside of him.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to see if I can jump back and see. That might be why.
Let's have a look.
He looks okay. I've just had the look there, and the safety car's crossed the line, and he's behind it.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just hearing the radio chat, and that's the first live non-random safety car we've had in about 14 weeks. So these cars proving quite challenging for the guys tonight, but also speaks to a really good standard of driving and camaraderie amongst the guys, Bernie, which is what this race is all about.
Now, I know you're very confused tonight. Have you by chance made a mistake? I know.
Yes.
Hear me out.
Yes, I'm waiting.
You've waved Pete by, but have you possibly made AJ go to the end of the line? Have you hit the wrong button? Like, they're pretty close together.
No, I didn't touch him. I only did the one click on Pete, and I was excited to do that. And AJ, I think, I don't know how he caught that penalty because I had a close look at it. I could see the safety car cross the line before he did. But as you say, we saw, I think it was Mother, right up on the inside of him. I mean, AJ would have been slowing down just to avoid that very thing. But all the way down in 15th position. He's led a heap of laps tonight, but he's got a lot of work in front of him to get back up the front, Bernie.
I still smell a fish.
I don't know. Not to do with me. I didn't even slip a finger or anything anywhere, or right click or left click or any other click. But I was glad to see Pete back on the lead lap. Jace is on the end of the line now as well, and so everyone on the lead lap. Actually, there's someone behind Jace. Just trying to see that. Oh, it's Les, although I've got Les in third position. Is that where you've got him?
Yeah, third.
Wow, he stayed out after that big incident that he was involved in, and he's ended up in third position. What a crazy outcome that is.
And we've also lost Cool Runnings, 085's retired, as well as Kev. So that's the end of their run. We're down to 18 cars, folks, at the halfway point, 25 laps to go, and it's still anyone's race. Nico is going to lead them off. Scolty out of second, third, Les Boss, fourth, Woodsy, fifth is Hawkon. So Hawkon, it's been a slow rise for him, but he's getting up the front.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to see Nico pop in the chat here tonight as well. Nick has won one of these races himself, so it's a shame not to see him out on track as the guys get ready to go around again. One ducking into the pits, the others all looking to stay out and get racing back under the way as the green flag is waved, Bernie.
And Nico goes to the inside there to stop Scolty flying up there. You can also see further back, is that Wayno? Yes, it is, going deep under brakes and having a crack at Hawkon. Just did not quite make it, but is in sixth position. Nice clean start, as always, but Nico's leading them back up the mountain.
Tell you who did make a move at turn one was Mr. Cold Tyres, Brian Sheridan. He made the move into turn one as they all head up through Griffins now. The cutting, that's the danger point after a safety car, hoping not to breed another one as we see a large pack once again heading up the mountain into the cutting now. Nose to tail, a bit of touch there. The 420 on Hawkon, Wayno just on Hawkon there, a little bit of a nose. They all get away okay. Rusty on the back of, I beg your pardon, that's Cher on the back of Wayno now. It's really compressed. Everyone checked up in front of Hawkon. He just got a bit of a touch from Wayno in the rear, but everyone seems to have got okay. Dragol back in P13, little nudge on the wall as they went through, but looks like everyone might have got through okay this time, Bernie. Too wide over Skyline up ahead, Cheapers.
Yeah, that's Mother and Hardsey, I think, doing that. Oh, there's some contact into the dipper. I saw the smoke, but they're still continuing on there. So I think they're all checking up. Oh, another nudge. Wayno has been served again. So I think he was the one that hit the wall.
Tell you what, there was some chaos on the way down the mountain that time, 2x2. Unintentional, guys checking up everywhere, but look at that, they've all got away okay. I know Les has been shuffled back a couple of positions. Les Boss in P5, Wayno now getting all sorts of pressure down the straight as these cars thrash that gearbox of that engine, tap it out down Godrod there. Oh, there's a little nudge there, he's hung on to it though. Oh, and he's been slapped at like this. It's the synchronised driving team into the chase, Bernie. The guys have gone every which way. Look at that. Beautiful Subaru dancing there. It's like Torval and Dean revisited as the guys re-enter the track there, Bertie. Bit of excitement for the people at home.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that. We had a good view of it though, didn't we? Nice synchronisation. But it looked like Mother gave Wayno a bit of a tap, and then right behind him was Hardsey. And no, Hardsey was on the brake, Hardsey, but he still served him.
Yeah, that's right. It looks like he just got caught out a little bit by the cars checking up, went to go up the inside there. As we catch the replay now, they've gone through the kink. He's moved to the inside. Yeah, just been caught out by, I think, as you say, I think it was Mother that might have given him a touch in front and slowed off, and Hardsey was caught out by that. And then there's cars everywhere, Bertie. And lucky these things are good in the dirt, because a few of the guys had to make every a bit of use of that ability. Look at that return there. That's beautiful. They managed to dodge each other, and it was like I said, it was like going back to the 80s, seeing Torval and Dean on ice.
It actually threw me back further than that on the old... the old teams that used to go to the shows, and I'm going way back because that reminded me of the old Holden Kingswood.
Precision Racing.
That's them, yeah. They were awesome.
The Precision Driving Team, that's right. They upgraded to the Utes at one point, and they'd go on two wheels, side by side, and over each other, and all the rest of it. It was precision driving at its best, and we got a bit of that through the chase there on that last lap. But I'm not sure how many of them would have enjoyed it quite as much. But certainly back on the racing there, I tell you what. Up front, you've got Sculsey here in P1 with Woodsy, the last of the late breakers. Right, look at that, beautiful. The problem for Woodsy there, although he's essentially got a pretty good drive out of there this time, he doesn't quite get the drive out of the corners. As we see Sculsey pulling in for his pit stop, he's done how many laps? I'm just trying to catch that. He's done 4 laps on that stint once again, not risking that getting caught out for fuel, which is what we saw. I think it was Rusty got caught out by that earlier and had to go take an end-of-line penalty. But Hawkon now, early race leader, had that big incident. He's tucked in behind Woodsy now. We're on lap 29 of 50 here, folks. We've got just under 22 laps remaining. And Hawkon once again up the front, looking to put his stamp on this race, Bernie.
Oh, the Scooby-Doo precision driving team. You actually stole my thunder there, because I was going to say Hawkonzi is up to second.
That's it. Look at that. Mr. Brian Sheridan sitting in P3, Bernie, on his 3rd lap of this stint. He's up 15 positions, if you can believe it. After having started at the back, the rear of the car stepping out beautifully as he chases his tail up the mountain once again, heading through Solomon now. Over the top once again, driving beautifully with pressure all over the back of him from some muppet named Les in car 51. Hey, all of them gritting ear to ear while they do it.
Yeah, you can see there Shiro's gnashing his teeth as he comes across the top there. Oh, what's the muppet doing?
He's got to be careful. He'll be picking up a slowdown. That's what he's doing. They looks to have got away with it there. Once again, using every bit of the track and every one of those 50 incident points that the guys have got to use tonight. 5 fast repairs, as we said earlier in the night, 50 incident points, and a lot of time on the tarmac to use them. So 50 laps tonight instead of our usual 32. 300 kilometres for the guys here tonight. The fuel tanks on these folks, the reason we mentioned it earlier, the reason why we're seeing so many pit stops and 4 to 5 lap stints is these are rallycross cars and they only have a limited fuel tank. Not only that, there's a bit of a bug in them that reduces them even more. I think we're seeing about 25 litres in a tank when these guys go through the pits, which means a maximum of about 5 laps. And if you take into account 2 random yellows, as we see Les in car 51 pulling into the pits from P4 on this lap, if you take into account random yellows and you can't pit under the safety car conditions for the first lap, you're sort of rolling the dice fairly frequently here tonight, Bernie.
Certainly are, but I tell you what, AJ's been playing the game the best. He's in 13th at the moment, and he is at least 1 pit stop ahead of him. Most of the guys are 7 or 8 pit stops. He's down for doing 6 at the moment. As we can see now, Hawkonzi there making a move on Woodsy, and he's got a new nickname, yes he does, as they go 2 wide up to the cutting, and Hawkonzi takes the lead.
Yeah, nice move there. Tough to get it done around there, and Woodsy, we know he's good under brakes. He'll be looking to hang on here if he can and then put pressure on the way down the mountain into some of the heavier braking zones. Hawkon really using every bit of entry on the approach into Solomon. He gets right out to the left-hand side of the track to take that right-hander before Solomon. Although he's, again, we saw this earlier in the race as Woodsy clips the wall, picks up a 0x. We saw him running a bit wide on exit of some of these corners, suffering from a bit of understeer. Doesn't look like he certainly didn't take tyres in his last stop. It'd be interesting to see if he's thinking about taking them on his next stop. Of course, 5 or so seconds extra to take tyres in these cars, so not too much in it other than perhaps a bit of track position, and guys probably thinking about taking them earlier rather than later if they can, because that 5 seconds worth of track position later in the race is worth a lot more than it is probably in the middle stages, Bernie.
Yeah, and we heard there was a battle back in 9th, 10th and 11th, but that one looks like it's resolved due to pit stops. But back up the lead here at the moment, you can see Woodsy there on the back of Hawkon. They can't do much about it because they're pretty much peaked out at max revs at that point, and even if you've got a slipstream, you're not going to get any faster as both of them now come into the pits.
Yeah, 4 lap stint for both of them. Woodsy looking to take a slight shortcut there. I don't know if there's a slowdown there or not, but I think that might have been the second time he's done that. And you know what? Shero, I was about to say he's going to lead a lap, but he's come into the pits as well, as has Rusty behind him. And Dragol, top 5 cars into the pits. Top 6, Brindy Man in as well. Hardsey, I tell you what that safety car, or that pair of safety cars has done, is it's really sort of tightened up the strategy of the guys out there, because they've all done their 4 to 5 laps, or they've done 4 in that last stint, the front guys. And look at this AJ sailing by. Tell you what, how many positions? He started the lap 13th. He's already up to 3rd by turn 1. Yeah, he made up 10 positions that lap just on pit strategy, Bernie. I was interested to see you point that out earlier. He's done 6 stops. The leader's done 8, and that's with an end-of-line penalty that AJ copped for, I thought, the dubious steward's call of overtaking the pace car on pit entry during the safety car period just gone, Bernie. But AJ looking to make as much of it as he can, all the way back up into P3 now.
And Woodsy's just got past Scoltsy there as AJ goes really wide into the cutting. Did he actually clip the wall there?
Yeah, that was my gasp before. He just on the approach to the cutting, he just clipped the wall. These cars, the rallycross cars in general, I found are remarkably sensitive to contact, which is surprising given the nature of the racing that they normally do. And it looks like he might be struggling with a little bit of bent steering, which would not surprise me at all, to be honest, Bernie. As we watch the replay now, as you go up into this corner, and you can just see he's run really wide into there. Did he clip it on the way in? No, he just did not hit the apex at all. Run wide, and must have been the following corner, but he did get a poor run out of there. I don't see a bent car quite yet. It might have been on the entry. The camera angle might have not given it to us at that stage, but I saw him clip the wall, and it certainly looks like he's struggling as a result. He's got Hawk on it. His chief rival in this race has gone past him at this stage, and he's heading down into the chase now, and I imagine he'll grab a pit stop this lap.
I'm just having another look at this, folks, and we'll get back to the action. I'm curious to see if he did get that wall on the entry. No, he didn't, unless he got it at this point. Oh, yeah.
I reckon just there on the entry in there, see? And that's and he's actually in the pits now. Look at that, the bent car on the right there. That's thrown his strategy out the window somewhat. He was up in P3, but now dropping down the order. As the guys are on the leader now. Woodsy's on lap 32 of 50 now.
Yeah, 19 laps remaining of this race, and we have, if we look at the laps led and the cars that have led them, let's bring up those statistics. So the car that's led the most is AJ, just coming out of the pits now, back in 13th position, led 16 laps of the race so far. Hawkon is sitting in 3rd at the moment, led 6 laps. Scoltsy, currently sitting in 2nd, has led 5 laps. Woodsy, who's leading at the moment, has led a total of 2 laps. And we had Mother in 10th position. They have led 1 lap. Oh, there's a car there. Did you see that? Nico has also led a lap, and he's in 14th.
Oh, I'll tell you what, there's been some incidents up there. Dragol's nose into the wall. Shero, I think, copped a big one as well. And there's a lot of smoke across the top at the moment, Bernie. I'm not sure who set that one off, but there was a pretty big chain of events going on, as I see our pictures of caught Dragol there running it pretty wide. Really listen. Oh, the car behind him, Bernie. That's where it all. And then Dragol's lost it of his own volition. It might have been Shero behind him that lost it originally, and then Dragol's in a separate incident, all of his own making. I tell you what, he's played pinball amongst the walls there. Done well to get it off the track there. But look at another car smoking up behind him. There's that Hardsey. Oh, I'll tell you what, there was a lot of action independent of each other up there, Bernie, but a few cars looking worse for wear.
I have a feeling it was Mother that went into the wall. Let's bring up Mother here. No, it wasn't Mother. Let's keep an eye on. Yeah, Shero into the wall hard.
Oh, that's a big hit, isn't it?
And Hardsy's come along and launched
just for fun. Did you see the just for fun as he flipped over on the livery? That didn't look like much fun, did it?
No, it didn't. I noticed, though, he had exited before he hit the ground.
Yeah, he's teleported back to the pit spot. It looks hard as he had nowhere to go. And I tell you what, the pits is looking pretty sorry at the moment. There's a few dead cars in there. And a few people looking for wave buys at the next random yellow. Bernie, I've got the button at the ready. You got to give your old mate a kick at some stage soon to hit that button, I reckon. There's not many laps to go.
I thought you were getting excited about all the wave buys you get to do.
Oh, I am. I'm looking forward to the wave buys. I can see Shaz in line for one. He'll be cheering. And, Jace, I was just about to say before that action happened, Jace back in P18 in the pits at the moment, he ran out of fuel. He went past the pits one too many times, and he got through Hell Corner, started up Mountain Straight and ran out of gas. And I think that's unfortunate for him. But look, we're still waiting on this random yellow for the second time tonight, folks. Our leaders are on lap 33, and Woodsy is up the front at the moment, but there's still plenty of action on top of the mountain by the looks, Bernie.
Yeah, there's a heap of action up there as we see Mother now coming down once again, and who's that Brindy Man? We haven't seen anything of Brindy Man tonight at all, and sitting in 5th position just ahead of Gazza.
Absolutely. I tell you what, all these pit stops and yellows and everything is really shuffling the order, isn't it? I mean, we're seeing different faces up the front and through the pack, and all sorts of stuff. It's like a deck of shuffling cards throughout this race, Bernie. It's been fantastic, and they're still seeing a good deal of racing up the front in packs. A bit of overtaking across the top there as well. Mother really impressed with his drive to be sitting in P4 at the moment, Bernie. And he's had a great season so far. As Hawkon now's taking the lead, Bernie, as they head up Mountain Straight. He got the move done in turn 1, and Woodsy right on his tail. Hawkon taking a slightly defensive line on the right-hand side of Mountain Straight, now moves across into the natural line for the braking zone into Griffins. Woodsy, beautiful turn in there. Hawkon, we've seen him run wide a couple of times through there, but holds on to it. And who's that just in front of them up there? It's young Pete, looking for another wave around once the yellow comes out.
We give you one job.
I know, right? I take it seriously, can you tell?
Yeah, you're as competitive on the wave around as you are in the car.
Yeah, that's it. But look, that's a good race shaping up at the front. Woodsy and Hawkon had a few goes at it tonight, and look, the racing's been hot as they come up on the soon-to-be lapped Pete. Pete moving over to the left. Is he going to let him through? Yeah, nice work, Pete. Tough to go 2x2 through there, but when the lap car lets you through, he's actually taken a nice little excursion. He'll get a slowdown for that, but the race keeps going on. Well played, Pete. And the guys up front looking to put on that show, Bernie.
Don't worry, Pete. You'll get your wave around back, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, that's right.
The other car we've hardly seen tonight as he comes out of the pits is the Trickster, and 15th, up 5 positions. And there we go, folks. You heard that little squeal, and that was the second random safety car button being pressed.
That's it. That's our second and final random yellow for the night, because we had the yellow breeding yellow incident earlier on. But lap 34 has seen the throwing of the second random yellow tonight as the leader was coming down Conrod Straight. Of course, he'll drive past the pits. Pits are closed this lap. Hawkon, he's okay in the front. In fact, the front 5 or 6 cars should be right on fuel, having done 3 or 4 laps in their stint. AJ, in fact, only having done 2. At the end of this safety car period, what will be on be about lap 37, which will mean, 13 laps, probably another 2 to 3 pit stops. So still plenty of action ahead of the guys as the leader's now looking to find the safety car. Yeah, they are. They're just pulling up behind it on Mountain Straight, Bernie.
Okay, folks, you can hear the tension rising, knuckles being crunched, and that is McBeardface getting ready to do the wave arounds.
Oh, that's it. Let me just find it. We've got Pete. There's Pete. I'm going to wave him around now.
No, you can't yet. They've got to form up.
No, well, he's formed up.
Oh, okay. Okay, all right.
Wave him. Way you go, Pete. Now, who else is there? Dales. He's in the pits. Jace. You can have a wave. Hang on.
Come on, Pete. You can go through, mate. Yeah, McBeardface has let you through. be going.
Where's Jace? Where's Jace?
There's Jace.
There, I found him. Where's the waiver? There we go. Go on, Jace. Get on with you. Get around, son. Get back on that lead lap.
This is so funny.
It's the most entertaining part, I think. It is for me.
I just like watching you trying to work it all out, as we see now.
I'm sweating bullets, mate. There we go. Go through. Go through.
Now, don't forget. Go, Jace, son. You can do it.
Go, Jace. Get around, son. That's the way to do it. These cars are built for it, Paul. They're built for it. I'm telling you.
If he's fast enough, you'll get through, and by then you'll have forgotten and you'll get another wave around.
Maybe. But they're all right. Jace is all right. He's only had two laps on this stint, so he'll be fine with regards to pits. Pete will be all right as well, so those guys will get back on the lead lap. And like we said, the admin's doing everything they can to get everyone back in this race as long as they can, Bernie. So a bit of extra action for those two tonight, which is great to see. And the guys now will come past the pits. The pits will be open. Looking at the top bunch of cars all the way down to P6, AJ and P6. Look, they'll all grab a pit stop at this stage, Bernie, you would think. Maybe Les, who's only been out for one stop, he might stay out. He's in P10, of course, but I tell you what, there'll be some number crunching going on under those visors as well, Bernie.
Certainly will. Looking at the pit stops now, folks, it's getting quite interesting in that, according to this, Pete has had 5 stops. Then we've got Gazza, Jace, Mother and Rusty all on 6 stops. Now AJ's back to 7 stops. So that incident that we saw him in, bent steering, that's taken the advantage away.
Yeah, he's just gone past, who was it, Gazza? Yeah, Gazza towed. He'd ran out of fuel. That was bad luck for him on that timing of the safety car there. That's cost him dearly, unfortunately. That's the risk you run with trying to squeeze every bit of juice out of these cars. The random yellows they can help you and hurt you as the guys coming through the chase this time. We're on the tail end of lap 35. They'll be looking to grab the pits, no doubt, and just be careful of that end of line penalty that AJ got. AJ's sitting there in P6. He's right back in it though. So it'll be interesting to see which one of the guys take tyres this time, Bernie.
How many laps have we got to go here? Not about 18, so they're 3 stops out at the moment.
Yeah, they will be. I've got 15, balance of 15 as I go through here, so there's at least 3 stints of 2 laps. No more yellows, random ones at least. So if you can get 5 laps out of a tank, you can do 2 stops, 3 stints. Yeah, it's a pretty level playing field at this stage, Bernie. Yeah, there's a couple taking tyres, look at that.
Yeah, and Lesbos and Nico stayed out, so they moved to the front of the queue. See Hawkon taking tyres. Rusty's got tyres. As a race, Scholzy just got AJ at the exit there. And, a few have taken tyres. Looks like Hawkon did. Woodsy, Mother, Rusty, Wayno, Dragol, all took tyres. And Lesbos and Nico took tyres last time through.
That's right. The 2 that rolled the dice and didn't take tyres in favour of track position, Scholzy and AJ sitting in P3 and 4 at this stage, Bernie. They didn't take tyres. They said, I'd like the track position, thank you very much. And look, be interesting to see now because you got Woodsy and Hawkon have been putting on a great show in P5 and 6. Mother, who's got pace to burn, he's just got to keep it straight and focused on to be part of that action behind them all with fresh tyres. Looking to really work that rubber to see if they can't get by AJ, who we know have got plenty of pace. Scholzy, who from memory qualified second, so we know he's got the pace to do it as well. Look, it's really shaping up with just the 15 laps remaining, Bernie.
Yeah, it certainly is, and looks like Jace is ready for his next wave around. So that'll be the next safety car. And you've got 2 now. You've got Jace and Gazza that you're going to have to wave around if we get any more yellows.
Yeah, look, it's only if the track's blocked from now on. I can wave him around now because I will, because he's on the pack. I'm going to wave him around. Hang on.
Are you
Wave
allowed?
around. Yeah, go, Jace. Get around, son. Get around. Go on.
Jace is just scratching his head. He's going, what the hell?
Yeah, he can get around. He can get around because they've got plenty of time to get it done because they've got all the Conrod to... Don't touch anyone on the way through, Jace. It's all right.
You're going to take out the field because you're giving him a wave round.
Nah, he'll be right. He'll get the wave round, get back on the lead lap with plenty of time to sort of get out of the way of the leaders and still be in this... pick up the pieces. Oh, don't block his way through. Let the man through. He's got a wave around.
Does it actually tell him that he's got a wave around?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're sitting behind the pace car, you'll have the iRacing, the spotter, or there'll be a thing on your screen that says who you're to sit behind and all the rest of it. And as Jace is coming through the field, it'll basically say, let the guy through. And then look at him, he's fanging down Conrod, and he'll get half a lap in now before the guys catch up to him. And Les is leading this pack. He's just still trundling down Conrod here as I can hear Sherrod coming over the radio telling him it's the last random safety car, 38 and onwards. It's all green, no more yellows after lap 38, so hopefully we get a clean couple of laps now as they're coming on the tail end of lap 36. If they get a clean lap now, that's it for the yellows and the wave rounds. Bernie, my job is done.
I'll create a new job for you. Don't worry about that. It's big shout out also to the series sponsor, Central Coast Subaru. Go and check them out at ccsubaru.com.au. Here we go.
That's it, Les. Oh, see Nico pulling into the pits. Oh, be careful, Scholzy. Don't go past him, because if he goes past him, he'll get a penalty there. That's okay. Green light's on and they're away. Scholzy up the inside now. AJ left behind a little bit. Scholzy looking up the inside of Les on turn one. Those two are actually Team Venom Racing teammates on any other day, but today they're racing hub. What's going on behind there, Bernie? What did I miss?
The big crash behind you. I'm trying to work out who it was.
I can see Hawkon. What's going on here?
It was Hawkon. Hawkon was involved. Go back to the replay on that, and he got cleaned up big time. We just got it on the corner there. Have a look on the restart. He got caught napping, and then it's held corner that it's all come apart.
Yeah, look, he's grabbed that rear brake again, just like he did into the Forest Elbow early on in the race. It's just spun him out. And then behind him, the car's looking to take it, avoiding action. You got Rusty, who's been clouded from behind by Wayno. And, they've all come unstuck in there. The rest of the field seems to have got through okay. Just those three that were caught up in that. That's tragic for Hawkon. He's had a bumpy night from leading the race all the way through to the rear end now. He's back in P13 with not many laps to go.
We're going to possibly get a slowdown there. Scholzy missed the S's, took the shortcut down there leading this race. We'll see if he does have a slowdown, because if he does, he's about to get mobbed by about 4 Subarus here.
If he does, he's managing it pretty well, Bernie. The gap's closed right up. I think he was managing a slowdown there. He was at least half a second as he got out of the elbow. Now he's down to 0.1, and these guys, listen to them, they're just bashing that limiter. AJ looking to go the inside of Les on through the chase. Oh, Les, great defence there. Oh, get out of my way. Don't look at and he got Woodsy once again. He's backed out early. AJ looking to get the inside. Oh, Les gone too deep. Left himself a poor run out. Gives Woodsy a hip and shoulder on the way through, and Mother now looking to take advantage as well. That's cost Les a couple of positions there. Just a little bit late on the brakes into the final corner there. And once again, Mother now gets a great drive out of that first corner there at Hill Corner, and he's looking to swamp all over Les as well.
And while these guys were squabbling, that's allowed Scholzy there to get his advantage again. Did get that slowdown, but they were all getting into each other, and he's got a gap of 1.6 seconds at the line.
Yeah, absolutely. He the only threat there now is AJ. He's got pace to burn. Look, you were talking about young Trickster. We haven't seen Mick Gray all night in the 055 car. He's up to P6. The old head has got Dragol sitting in behind him in P7. Doing a fantastic job is the Trickster. He's been very patient, kept his nose clean, and looking to be reaping the rewards. We've got Dragol right all over the back of him, looking to put a ton of pressure on him as well.
Yeah, he's up 11 positions is the old Trickster, and sitting in 6, as you said, as they go across the mountain once again. But at the moment, Scholze is getting a nice gap. They're about to come up to lap Jace. So if we have another safety car, folks, Jace might get another wave around, and that's... I'm just noting.
That's what the crowd likes to see, right? I don't know what happened to Jace. I gave him half a lap. But in all seriousness, though, Scholze's coming up on the back of Jace. Jace is another good look at him. He's pulling over, letting the leaders go by. He's a smart racer there. He knows what to do as a lap car. He's got AJ now, who's starting to bridge that gap. He's already picked up 3/10 on this lap, and he's gapped Woodsy a little bit. Look at that again, Jace pulling over to the right side, the left-hand side of the road, just only taking the racing line once the lapping traffic had got through. Shows the experience that he's got, as the guys all looking to run wide. Is that that's Les in the Muppet Mobile grabbing his pit stop. He's done a 4-lap stint. That might actually serve him well, because when it comes time to take his final pit stop, he'll probably have to do at least one more. If not two, he'll only have to short fuel and spend less time in there. So it could be good for Les in terms of track position at the later stages, Ben.
Yeah, you could, depending how he goes. We're 12 laps out from the end. 4 to 5 laps is what they're doing. Most are doing 4. AJ seems to get to 5, and he could be in a really good position. AJ, though, he's now clear of Woodsy, and he's starting to push forward onto the back of Scholze. We've got Woodsy in 3rd, Mother 4th, and Dragol now is in 5th as he's just got past the Trickster.
Yeah, Trickster now getting all sorts of pressure from Shero. Look at that 2x2. They're going out of the cutting. Now Shero, side-to-side action. He looks left, he looks right. Trickster just holding the standard racing line, showing it is the fastest way through. And Shero leaving it all hanging out there as he goes through Solomon. He's heading up now over the top. That's beautiful. Just showing what these Subarus can do over the top, as he heads up now across Skyline and starts his run down the mountain on lap 39 of 50, Bernie.
Sorry, folks. I just got to pick myself up off the floor. I was expecting him to find the wall there. That was beautiful driving by Shero.
Yeah, look, he's enjoyed himself. I can just picture him under the visor with a big cheesy grin on there, loving every minute of this. And I'm just looking up ahead. Jace has once again moved out of the way. He's let Dragol pass, and he's now got Trickster and Shero chasing him down as well. But as he's shown already, he knows what to do in these sorts of situations. But once again, the engines of these Subarus went thrashed down Conrod. Shero moves over to the left. Beautiful motion there. Comes down into the chase. Looks to get it done. Trickster getting a better drive out of the corner. Oh, he had to touch the brakes. Shero using every bit of the track and more. Hope he's got some incident points left. Looks like he'll get the job done as they head down into Murray's on the tail end of lap 39, as we said. Jace running a bit wide and staying out of the way there as Wayno now coming into the picture on the back of these two. He'll be looking to get involved in this action over there as well. Oh, Trickster! The rear stepped out. They've gone wide. Well, he's gone to the outside and then the inside, and then they both teams have got away, but it's cost them a couple of positions and a bit of time, Bernie.
Yeah, Wayno got a bit of air there. Got caught up between Trickster and the wall. Now he's going to try to complete that pass. Probably the world's longest pass for him, but he does that as they come up to Griffins and Trickster gets out of his way. But at the moment, though, Scholze's being chased down by AJ. AJ's 0.6 of a second. Woodsy, though, he's going with them. He's 0.6 of a second behind. So we're down to 3 cars at the moment, folks, racing for the honours of this race. But we'll see if any of the others can catch up.
I'll tell you what, I'm interested to see what happens here, Bernie. There's no more yellow flags. It's green race, flag racing to the end of the race. All these cars down to P11 in Rusty, they're on the fourth lap of their stint. Now, we've seen AJ do 5. The question is, does he stay out for the extra lap, taking the lead? And look, we've seen him catch Scholesy over these past few laps. Can he then do the overcut, as it were, stay out the extra lap and see if he can't get a gap in?
Yeah, well, if he stays out an extra lap, he'll be coming in exactly on about lap 9 or 10, which means he could pretty much get home with one stop left. So that could give him that advantage back again, because the others at the moment, they're on around about a 2-stop strategy to get to the end here, but AJ now comes in the pits, so it's going to be close. He could have done it if he stayed out one more lap.
Gee, I thought he might stay out that lap, but geez, he locks up coming into the pits, nearly run up the back of Scholesy, but that's really tightened things up, hasn't it? I thought AJ might stay out, but yeah, look, this front, I'm reckoning all the way down. Yeah, Brindy Man's just come in as well. Wayno, oh no, he's come in. Rusty, yeah, they're all coming in now, Bernie, all the way down to Trickster and P11. Les will be the only one that stays out. Interested to see what he can do now, how many of these guys he can grab on the way through from P12 after that earlier incident that we saw, shuffling back down a bit. He's passing a gaggle of them too. Look at this, leaping up the order. He's going to come out side by side with AJ here. AJ's just got out in front of him. Scholesy in behind him. The two Venom racers back to back again. Les in P2, Scholesy in P3, coming under all sorts of pressure from Mother in the 222 car. Mother looking to get it done on Scholesy as they head into Griffins on the start of lap 41, Bernie.
Yeah, so that's brought Les back into play, hasn't it? But he's going to be out of sequence. These guys now are on 10 laps to go. I think AJ can get home with one stop. Now, the question is, if he does that, can the other guys go with him, or are they going to have to come in and do a 2-stop to the end?
Yeah, look, that extra lap would be nice, wouldn't it? 10 laps. AJ shown he can do 5. Can the others do it? As you say, Les, look, he's run a bit wide there. He's got Mother all over the back of him. I've had a nice couple of tangles with Mother lately. He's got... we did one a couple of weeks ago. He had great drive out of Hell Corner at turn 1 here. He's looking to put all sorts of pressure as they come through the S's now on the back of the Muppet car tonight, through the dipper now. Les holding nice lines. The rear of the car just swaying from side to side there. Beautiful to see from these guys. Les pushing a bit wide, having to take the narrow line through the elbow this time. Pushes him wide on exit. That'll give Mother a run. Can he do anything with it, though? He's right up on the tail. Can he get something of a draft before these things top out? He's tucked up right behind. Oh, little kiss on the way through as the car starts screaming on the way down Conrod Straight now. He's on the inside for the kink. Oh, a little nudge there. They've got the hip and shoulder out. He's hung on to it. Oh, Les has helped him straighten up. There you go. That's a bit of a friendly touch. Helped him keep it straight, and the pass gets done. There's a bit of camaraderie for you, baby.
Yeah, that's brought Scholesy back into it here. And what's Scholesy going to do? He's... Oh, Les!
Better have a look at that, Bertie. It looked like Les grabbed the rears again, and they put the nose to the inside this time on the approach there, but that didn't look like it tickled, did it?
No, I don't think he was trying to straighten them up. Let's have a look here. The first touch there with Mother, and Les backs it up there, but then keep an eye on the Muppets, because he does an awesome move down here as the back looks like it bit, didn't it? As we come down, have a look at this, Alex.
Yeah, look, he's come in there, he's on the out. No, he's clipped the grass, Bernie. That's sent the rear around and put him into the 29 car there of Scholesy, his teammate, and any other day. And the both of them gone around, and that's unfortunately put Mother into the wall as well. That's really unfortunate. Just leaving the room, trying to take advantage of the full extent of the track, and he's unfortunately brought himself and a couple of others undone there.
I'll tell you what, that has allowed Woodsy. He jumped all three of them and said thank you very much, up to second, but 3.5 seconds behind. While things settle down here, folks, let's go through the complete field here from the front to the back so you can see where your favourite driver sits at the moment. AJ is leading the race once again, up 4 positions from where he started. Woodsy in the 98, up 6 positions, currently in second, 3.5 seconds down from the lead. Then 2.5 seconds back we have, well, he's a lot closer now, that's Dragol in third, up 10 positions. Fourth is Skoltzy, and he's doing a great job there with Lesbos there in 5th position, coming under threat now from Hawkon in 6th position. Hawkon was looking really strong earlier on, but he's got a bit of work to do with 9 laps remaining. Moving back to 7th is Wayno, then 8th is Brindy Man. Brindy Man is up 6 positions from where he started. Back to 9th is Dales, also up 5 positions. Then we have Shiro, the exciting Shiro, up 7, sitting in 10th. As we move back to 11th, we have Trickster, up 4 positions. Then Rusty right behind him, having a bit of a rough run there in 12th. Nico is sitting in 13th. 14th is Gaza. 15th, Hardsey. 16th is Mother, just recovering. Looks like he's had to come back into the pits possibly. Then we have Jace, 1 lap down. 1 lap down, coming out of the pits now in 17th position. Pete is the last car out there running, currently in the pits in 18th position. The 2 retirements, we lost Cool Runnings in the 085 and Kev in the 07 was the first retirement.
Yeah, that's right, Bernie. I've just seen Les take his pit stop. What are we on? Lap 43. He said he still needs 1 more, but as we said, he's a bit off cycle. He might grab a shorter one, but up front, as we can see on screen at the moment, we've got AJ. He's out to a 4.5 second lead, if you can believe it. Draggle sending the rear of the car nicely out there. Wondering if he took tyres last time through, so he's probably just doing it for the fun of it, right? Because it is a bit of fun around in these Subarus. We've got Skoltzy behind him after that incident with his teammate. He's in P4. Hawkon, as you were calling just before, we saw him have that major incident in turn 1 just not that long ago. But he's fought his way back. He's up to P5. He's got the bit between the teeth, as it were. He's only 1.5 seconds behind Skoltzy in P4. They've got they've got 1 more pit stop to do. If they can manage 5 laps out of their final 2 stints, they've only got the 1 pit stop to do. And look, the best lap that Hawkins done is a 2:07 dead. Skoltzy's a 2:08.1, Bernie, and in front of them, Dragol, Dennis in P3, he's a 2:09.1. And if I look at the gap there, Hawkins only about 3 to 4 seconds behind Dragol. So Hawkon, after all the events that he's had in his race, he's still on for a podium here, Bernie.
Yeah, and he's flying, isn't he? Just have a look at these gaps as they come through to give you the viewers a bit of an idea how spread apart they are. And there's still a lot to play for up in the front here. But at the moment, AJ is doing it all. 4.7 seconds, as you said, is the gap. And the magic number for him is 5 laps out. If he can get there, he's going to potentially take this win. But can any of the other guys go with him? At the moment, none of them have, as far as pit stops have been concerned.
Well, that's right. It'll be interesting at the end of next lap where we find out where everyone stands. The top 10, all the way down to Rusty in P10, have all done 3 laps on this current stint. It'll be interesting to see who has a crack at the pair of 5s. Pair of 5s could be the strong hand tonight, Bernie. If they can do 2 5-lap stints, you're on for a shot here. AJ, of course, holding all the trump cards, as it were. He's shown he can do 5 laps previously. He's got a 4.9 second lead now. And look, I think he's literally holding the best card in the field, Bernie.
Certainly is, and if you're wondering what I was doing, folks, I wanted to see if that was a Dick Smith sign on the side of the road, and yes, it was. So I've confirmed it. Everyone can take a breath and relax.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it is. It is. It's just before the left-hander as you approach Skyline there. Birdie has a big Dick Smith sound. It's a good turn-in marker for a lot of cars too, just quietly. But once again, Hawkon As we hop on board, Hawk on there, he's P5. He's only got up about half a second on Scholzy in that last lap, Bernie. So perhaps he did take tyres. We remember him taking tyres in that last stint, and in front of him, there's someone who's just ducked into the pits.
That's Woodsy. Woodsy's in, and Mother. Yeah, Woodsy's in.
Well, that's interesting. He's going to have to stop again, I think, because there's 6 laps remaining.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. That might be a very telling stop for Woodsy there, and there'll be a number of cars that go by him and potentially stay in front of him. But yeah, once again, AJ clearing out in front. Oh shit! Road putting on a show through turn 1 as he's chasing. He's loving this Subaru here tonight. He's putting on a great show for the fans as he goes past Pete. Pete pulling over the side of Conrod Straight, and Sherrod doffing his hat as he goes by. Yeah, Sherrod really looking to love these cars tonight. He's turning. Look once again. Look at that in the rear of the car. Great fun out here on track tonight, folks, and the guys out once again showing that the F in Friday Night Race Club doesn't just stand for Friday; it stands for fun, Bernie.
It certainly does, and that's what they're all doing, and it's very entertaining, hopefully, for all the viewers out there and everyone watching. Thanks for sticking with us. I hope you're enjoying the telecast tonight of the FNRC Bathurst 300, brought to you by Central Coast Subaru. But at the moment, AJ is leading 6.5 seconds. We're coming down now to 5 to go, so it'll be interesting to see if he comes in this lap or if he stays out another lap.
Yeah, well, that's it. This is the 4th lap of their stint. 5 laps to go at the end of this lap. You would think he'd come in for sure. He only has to do the 5. He knows he's done it before. There's no reason to leave it any longer. I would expect to see the top 6 cars come in this lap. Let's see what he does. Yep, in he comes. Dragol sitting in 6 seconds behind him. Hawkon having made the move through the chase. Scholzy running a bit deep by the looks and costing himself at least one position there. Both of them heading into the pits now as well. I noted that on that lap, Hawkon was 10 seconds behind the leader. It might be tough to make that up in 5 laps as we check out the replay now. Hawkon and Scholzy coming into the kink now at the end of Conrod. Fastest corner, of course, in Australian motorsport. Scholzy grabs that brake, runs just a bit deep and wide. There's a bit of grass out there which the Subi won't mind, but the slowdown will affect Scholzy, but he's also in the pits now anyway, so he's cost himself a little bit of time, but not too much anyway. I think Hawkon was monstering him anyways, Bernie.
Yeah, AJ came back out in the lead, 11 seconds, though, didn't take tyres. We've got Woodsy currently in second position, 9.4 seconds was his stop. Dragol comes out in third in the Team Ovaltine entry. His stop was, 11.8 seconds. Then we've got Scholzy in fourth position. Hawkon comes out in fifth. That's your top 5.
Wow, Hawkon, 15.9 seconds stationary, 35 seconds on the lane, Bernie. He must have forgot to uncheck his tyres. That's all I can think, Bernie. There's no point in taking tyres at this point. He took them under yellow, if I'm not mistaken. He must have forgotten. That's a big mistake if that's the case, Bernie, because that's cost him an awful lot of track position. He's now, once again, nearly 2.5 seconds behind Scholzy. All that work undone, and he's now he was 10 seconds off the lead with 5 laps to go on entry. He's now 14.5. So looking well and truly out of that spot. It looks like Pete was going the wrong way up the mountain there. But that looks like Hawkon's tilt at the top spot on the podium over tonight, Bernie.
Yeah, Hawkon's, let's have a look at Pete on the replay if we can. See if I can go back here, see if we can work out what happened to Pete.
I think it looked like Pete to me, Bernie, but I could have been mistaken. Although, let's see. Oh, yeah, he's just gone. Oh, look at that. The rear stepped out. That's not the line you want through there, buddy. It's all right. It's all right. He's like I said. He's done a lot of development this season. Hasn't been on display tonight, but unfortunately he's had some time off, so that sort of set him back a bit as well as he comes down in the chase now. But AJ once again out in front. He's got a 6.4 second lead. Is Woodsy? What's Woodsy doing? He's sideways in the pits, Bernie. The car looks like it's been trashed.
Wasn't he just in there a moment ago?
Yeah, I think he was, but I tell you what, I jumped to him because I saw him in the pits and he was sideways in there. The rear of the car looked like it was hanging on for dear life. I don't know what happened on his way in. Let's have a look now. As he comes into the pits, he had to make that extra stop that we thought, and he's just got on the grass there. That's okay. He's grabbed the brakes on entry once again. The brake bias in the car's caught him out. The rear stepped out, and then he's grabbed reverse and give it a bootful and run into the rear of the the Subarus. Looked better at that point, but the mechanics have done a great job and got it back out on track. AJ once again across the top with just the balance of the 4 laps remaining, folks. 3.5. He's got an 11-second lead now, Bernie. Looks like it's his race to lose from here.
Yeah, he certainly does. And Woodsy there, it looked like he grabbed the handbrake the way that thing turned, and he wasn't very impressed with himself, that's for sure. But he was saved by the iRacing fairies, came out and fixed that car up and sent him on his way.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, there's been a change up the top of the order as well. We see Dragol in that 11.3 seconds behind, but Hawkon now. He's got past Scalzi. I don't know if Scalzi had a bit of a moment or something at some point, but Hawkon now 1.3 seconds in front of Scalzi, sitting in a podium. What a race for Hawkon, eh? He's maybe that tyre, perhaps that was a stroke of genius. Perhaps I've been caught out. I don't know, but he's jumped Scalzi there in the last lap while we were looking at those incidents, and he's only 2 seconds behind his team, Ovaltine Racing. Oh, speaking of his teammate, he's locked it up on the way to the chase, and Hawkon strolling through for P2. Can anything more happen tonight, Bertie?
Multi-21, that's all I'm saying.
I don't know if they play. Well, look at that. Oh, my word. He's just got it wrong. I don't know if he's missed his braking marker or what, but I'll tell you what, that those tyres let off some smoke, and he's skipped away from there, of course, but he's let his team, Ovaltine Racing teammate, through, and what we see is now is Hawkon jumping up to excuse me, AJ skipping away to a 13-second lead now over Hawkon. These two have been so consistent through the season. They're 1 and 3 in the 24-week standings overall. AJ having won 6 in a row at one point. Hawkon having taken out 4 races. It doesn't seem to matter what you throw at them by way of cars at this track. They're hanging on and doing a fantastic job in them.
I'm just having a look at Scalzi there, because out of the corner of my eye, I thought he might have got to the wall. Yeah, a bit loose, bounced off the pedigree wall there, continues on.
Yeah, look, he hit it flush, so hopefully his steering's okay there. He's still in P3. He's got a 2.3 second gap over Dragol in P4 after his moment through the chase last lap. Just the balance of the 3 laps remaining, the guys showing that concentration can suffer over these long races, and we've seen quite a number of incidents now, but these guys are coming towards the end of this titanic effort.
Yeah, it's been a big one for them, but it's been a very enjoyable race, that's for sure, as we can see now. Brindy Man coming across the top of the mountain, 403, and he's got Gazza for company as they go past there. McPhillamy up to Skyline.
Yeah, Brindy's doing a great job in P9 there. Gazza had cross swords with him many a time this season in both Friday and Saturday night racing. He's a great driver, great fun to race with. That's the thing here. Everyone coming out for fun racing, and quite often, more often than not, you get great side-by-side door handle to door handle action, and you walk away with a big smile on your face. What more can you ask for from your racing of a weekend, Bernie?
Yeah, well, that's exactly it, and that's what brought a lot of us to iRacing, was to have those great races and those things you can talk about, and that's definitely what the FNRC brings, and I'll be proud to say that's where I'm going to hang out for a while, that's for sure.
Absolutely, great fun it is, Bernie. These two, once again, showing how much fun you can have. Doesn't matter where you are in the order. Dragol, if I jump up ahead to P4, Dragol, Bernie, he's just that 1 second behind Scalzi. I don't know if Scalzi grabbed that piece of the wall last lap as he comes into Griffin's, probably thinking about it, runs a little wide again, but manages to keep it off the wall. But, Dragol, watch that wall, son. He's managed to hang on, and he's putting all sorts of pressure both on himself and on Scalzi in this lap 49. The balance of two remaining, 1.5 as they cross the top now. Hawkon, he's matching AJ's times up front. He did a 2:07 dead last time round to AJ's 2:07.3, but that's probably Draggle once again probably pushing a little bit too hard. Nudge grabs a bit of the wall on the way through, gives the mechanics. Oh, look out! Oh, I tell you what, that's not the place you want to grab the handbrake, Bernie, but giving the crowd a bit of something to watch while during the closing laps of this race, Bernie.
Well, it shows how well balanced these cars are, doesn't it? And of course, they'd have to be if they're rallycross cars. But if you did that in any other car, you'd probably almost find the wall. But here comes AJ down through the chase for the second last time here. He should get the white flag, and he's going to go and go and go, and possibly see the checkered flag next time by.
Yeah, well, that's the plan, I think, in his mind and everyone else's. He's coming through Murray's for the penultimate time to take the white flag this time round. Chasing him hard, though, is Hawkon, who's just going through the same series of corners now. 10.2 seconds behind, or just under 10 seconds even, as they cross the line for the penultimate time there, coming into the first corner for that last time. Thinking about waving to the crowd, but work's not quite done yet. Their last lap, he was 1.2 seconds faster. 2:08.7 for AJ, 2:07.5 for Hawkon. With that 9.5 second gap, though, it looks like it's all but done and dusted now, Bernie.
Yeah, as we watch AJ come across the top of the mountain for the final time here. What a drive he's had tonight, and his pit strategy's been awesome. He's had a bit of a problem through the race, but he's bounced back to take the lead once more, and it's a well-deserved win if he gets this thing across the line. I say if, because as we've seen, anything can happen.
Yeah, that's right, Bernie. It does show you that this format keeps everyone in it too. I mean, how many times have we seen Hawkon have incidents tonight? I think I know AJ had a pit lane penalty at one point for passing the safety car on pit entry. Looked pretty questionable decision from the stewards in my book, but iRacing is as iRacing does. Or is that the way you say it? I don't know, I'm not Forrest Gump, but... But look, we've had plenty of waiver rounds. We've had safety cars and pit stops galore, that's for sure. The mechanics in the pits have been kept really busy as that engine once again cops its final thrashing for the night. AJ through the kink, coming down into the chase for the final time. Beautiful lines there, probably a little bit nervous, kisses the curb, but the soft suspension in these rallycross cars handles that with ease as he approaches the final corner now. Gives it, don't go too early with the wiggle, AJ. He's just kissed the curb once again, lights it up on the way out. Beautiful drive from AJ tonight. Fantastic win for Team Milo, and a great event for FNRC as we see Hawkon now coming around the last corner. What an eventful race he's had to cross the line in P3. John Scholz, he started in P2. He's coming around to finish in P3. Fantastic drive from him. 1.5 seconds behind, we've got Dragol for Team Mobile Team. Rounding out top 5 is Wayno. What a great drive from Wayno. He's up 4 positions and rounds out your top 5, Bernie.
You can see Woodsy recovered back for 6th position. So he comes across the line. 7th will be Shiro. And what an exciting race he's had. And then coming home in 8th, well, it's not over yet because Rusty and Brindyman, they're going to race for who's going to get 8th and 9th here. At the moment, looks like Rusty's going to take it, and he does as he gets a checkered flag, but only just because Brindyman was all over the back of him.
He lit it up outside the last quarter, didn't he? And Hardsey now crossing the line for P10. Gazza limping around. I don't know if he's run out of fuel or what, but he's limping around, and did he just get pipped? I'm not sure. No, it must have been a lap car. Lesbos now. He's coming up on the tail end of his final lap. Another one who had an eventful race. Had his turn up the front. Had a few moments. Just going through the chase now as he tails out his lap. And I can hear all the radio chat, Bernie. It's all turning to talk of the jump. Everyone is finishing. They're all lining up for the jump. We've got to catch a nice little display here. We were talking about the precision drivers early on, Bernie. There'll be some on display here shortly, I can tell you.
AJ won't be part of it, though. He stopped at the top of the mountain and the rear end of the car's pushed in.
Oh, that's it. I'll tell you what, there's a few of them that might have left themselves short on fuel.
Hawkon's car's trashed.
Yeah, there's a few of them that look pretty dead, don't they?
There's
I'll tell you who's going to make the jump. It's Pete. Pete's going to make the jump. I'm waving him through, Bernie. That's what I'm doing.
Here comes Woodsy. This is where we need to get you out there to mark where they land so we can see who gets the furthest.
I'll keep an eye on it and see. These cars are built for it, you know. They are literally built for it. They are made to do the jump because it's part of the racing in the rallycross, isn't it? Woodsy now lines it up. Oh, look at that. Nailed it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Who's the next one?
Next up, Jace. Jace is on there, thrashing the engine.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, he's a bit to the right. I'll tell you what, he's going to line it up. There it is.
No.
Oh, I told you, he was a bit right. He was a bit to the right on entry.
Okay, that's a disqualification of the jump. Here comes Pete. Who else?
I got Nico.
Here we go, Nico. Come on.
The 555, Mr. Subaru himself. What's he going to make of this? I'll tell you what, he'll be red-faced if he can't get his own brand over the jump. Look at him.
He's got it lined up.
Oh, he's a bit... Oh, look at that.
Perfect.
Oh, like a bought one, Bernie. I don't think he even wiggled.
Yeah, and he locks it up at the end.
Hardsy.
There.
Hardsy at the end of it.
And there goes Pete. Oh, and Pete went with his teammate Jace into the wall.
Beautiful. Oh, fantastic. Oh, AJ joining us in chat. Congratulations, AJ, mate. Great racing.
Dearie me. I tell you what, Pete, was it Pete? Nico. Nico gets the award for the best jump there. That landed beautifully.
Yeah, it was beautiful. The Russian judge gave it a 9.5, mate.
Oh, of course he did. All right, let's have a look. Who we got for interviews? We've got a couple of guys down there. I'm not sure who they are, but do you know who they are? I think
you'll find Paul is Woodsy, and Super Rod is Super Rod.
But Super Rod wasn't in the race.
I know, he normally is. I'll tell you what would be a good idea is to have Sharo in the booth to help us out with any nicknames, right?
All right, so let's bring Sharo up, and he can bring Sharo up. Congratulations, Sharo, on a great race, mate. And I don't know what happened at the end there, but it looks like you got into Hawkon.
Hey, Bernie, how you going, mate? Yeah, thank you. That was, an awesome fun race. Big challenge, sort of trying to start from so far back and come through with all the fuel stoppages and everything else. But, yeah, it was interesting, and we only had the one safety that wasn't the random, so I was really happy with the level of driving. Was fantastic. And how good's AJ? He was just too quick, mate. Couldn't catch him.
Yeah, he was on a flyer, wasn't he? But I tell you what, from where we stood, the racing looked very exciting and looked like everyone was having a ball. And was that the case? We could see you grinning from ear to ear, but I'm not sure if that was your helmet or your actual face.
Mate, my face mimicked my helmet, let me tell you. I'm sweating at the moment, Bernie. It's middle of winter and freezing, and I am sweating, mate. Some of the racing was side by side with Wayno across the top of the mountain there a couple of times. It was awesome fun, and we were laughing and chuckling all the way across.
Yeah, we thought we could hear something going on. We brought you up because Alex has decided you're going to help us work out who the heck it is in the green room, because I've got no clue. But I'll hand you over to Alex. He might have a few more questions or statements to say to you. Now, you gave him one job tonight, Shiro. I don't know, probably about a 5 I would give him for that.
Oh, that's harsh, Bertie.
Mate, I'd give him an 11 out of 10.
Oh, thanks, mate. I thought the wave rounds were on point. They were timely.
Absolutely.
Pete got by a couple of times. Chase, everyone was in it till the end, weren't they, Shero?
Oh, mate, yeah, that was, somebody said right to the finish, look, I'm still on the lead lap. I think it was Dales or something said, I'm still on the lead lap. I thought, well, that's exactly how we planned it. That's fantastic. It worked out really well.
Yeah, you're spot on, mate. We were saying through the night the format's designed to keep everyone in the race as long as we can, and I think tonight showed that's exactly what we can do, mate. I saw you a couple of times tonight with the rear of the car stepping out through some of the corners. Looked like a ton of fun, mate. How was the car to drive?
Yeah, look, I definitely had to change my undies a couple of times across the top of the mountain. And I thought it was gone, but the car is that good, mate. What can you say? It's a Subaru after all. It just hung on, and I thought we'd have a few blown engines from pinging out down Conrod Straight all night, but the engine just kept on going, mate. Subaru, thank you Central Coast Subaru and Subaru Australia. They're just a great car all round.
Yeah, top to drive as well, eh? Looks like a ton of fun out there, and I'm pretty sure everyone enjoyed it as well. So back to the Master of Ceremonies to see we've got a bit of a queue forming in the green room, mate, Bernie.
Yeah, before we do, though, I should take credit for the waiver rounds because you actually went to pot and didn't know what to do, and I actually told you what to do and coached you through the process.
Yeah, 100%, Bernie. I had no clue whatsoever, but we got it there. And Pete, I see him in the chat. He said the waiver rounds rock. So yeah. I'm going to take that as ringing endorsement for the process and the execution on the night.
Yeah, no worries.
I agree.
No, it's good fun, a lot of fun. So who are we bringing up, guys? Because we've got a huge list down there.
Mate, my theory on it is in finishing order. So I've got AJ in my sights, mate.
Okay, I'll bring him in. You guys can have a chat.
Mr. John, you got Alex McKellar, Bernie Williams, and a young Chera here in the RRTV commentary booth, mate. I can see you smile from here. That looked like some race out there, mate. Plenty of eventful stuff going on. What was it like in the cockpit of your car?
That was the most crazy race I think I've ever done. It was just insane with that amount of pit stops and fear of random safety cars ruining your race and then random penalties. It was just insane.
Yeah, so what happened there? We saw it. I had a close look at it. My guess is you got a passing the safety car penalty on pit entry, but to me, I'll tell you what, I didn't think you did, but, as I said, iRacing sort of runs these things and you get what you get, right?
It's actually, whoever was behind me at the time tried to do the old dive in and try and get a bit closer to the car in front, and I saw that in my mirrors and thought that they were going to hit me. Like I didn't think we were ghosted by that stage. Mm-hmm. And then I just completely missed the line and was doing about 5Ks over when I entered pits. Okay. So I got the end of line penalty for that. And then Gazza had a thing up on his screen saying he had to stay behind me, and I had it up on my screen saying he had to go ahead of me. And so then I got a stop and go penalty because he didn't pass me in the end before the restart.
No.
And then I think 3 laps after that, I was having a chat to Hockon at the cutting and just, lost concentration, hit the wall. So I was in again for that. So, it was
Team Ovaltine at its finest. Having a chat at the cutting, he says. One of the most difficult quarters you'll find in iRacing. Just having a casual chat.
Of course.
Yeah, that's right. The Milo Ovaltine rivalry continues. Well, mate, congratulations on a fantastic win. And, go Team Milo.
Absolutely. Awesome. Go Milo.
Yeah, congrats, AJ. Great race, mate. Great drive.
Yeah, thanks Sheriff for organising everything and for Central Coast Subaru for putting up the sponsorship. It's a really great race at the Bathurst 200, so I'll be back for more.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations, Alex. I was cheering for you from the start, so it's good to see you did an awesome job and took that race out. Dominant drive, mate.
Thanks, man. It's nice to have someone going supporting me with Dennis and Hockon in chat. Those last few laps were a bit frustrating or a bit treacherous.
Yeah, I bet it was. I did call them out though, so you're going to get some flack because I told them they've got to update their paint job because yours is looking pretty schmick at the moment.
Ah, nice. Thanks, Betty.
All right, see you, buddy.
Cheers.
So I reckon, guys, what we'll do is we'll interview the podium, and then I reckon what you can do, because then you're going to go over to the top split to do the draw, and that you can then do more interviews at that point if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we should also have a word to Mr. Nichols, our chief sponsor, at some stage as well.
Yeah, we'll definitely bring Paul up. So if we go through the podium only, and then we'll bring Mr. Nichols up and thank him for his great support. How's that sound, guys?
Sounds great.
I'll go just before he comes in so I don't have to listen to the dad jokes.
They're the best part, mate. What are you talking about? They're his best, finest work.
Give me 12 of them today in chat. I said, please stop, please stop.
Well, I've got my notepad out here. I want to get some lessons, so we'll definitely get him
you,
up.
Bernie. The man's a master.
That's it. Okay, let's bring Hawkon up. Is Hawkon in the room? No, he's not.
Yeah, ladder go.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Here he is, guys.
Hey, Hawkon, Alex McKellar, Bertie Weavers and Sherry here, mate, in the RRTV broadcast booth. Well, mate, that was a race and a half. It looked like you actually ran a race and a half there, mate. Up the front, up the back, up the front again, and all manner of incidents along the way. Well, but all the way to P2, mate. How did the race shape up from your seat?
Oh, it was great fun. Had way too many mistakes, but it was a hard car to get around here, right?
Sorry, go ahead.
The last mistake on the restart in the turn one there is what cost me a run for the win, I think. AJ skipped away at that point.
Yeah, it looked like it was a similar incident to what you had very early on in the race where you sort of jagged a rear brake and the sort of rear stepped out, put the nose into the wall in the first instance, and the second one turned you towards the inside of the track at turn one. Tricky pulling them up tonight?
Oh, yeah. Like, they're not too hard to catch, but when they're gone, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, tough pulling up on the downhill stretch in particular. But the Ovaltine Milo rivalry in full force tonight. You and AJ once again duking it out for the win, albeit not that you spent a lot of time together on track, both of you having your ups and downs, but looks like Milo might have just edged you out tonight by the looks.
Yeah, AJ's just way fast, right? And me and my mistakes is usually what cost me the chance to fight him for it.
Yeah, that's right, mate. It was the extra long race as well, so there's every opportunity for that little moment where the concentration lapses and the mountain bites you pretty hard. But congratulations, mate. You certainly put on quite an eventful race for the viewers at home, and certainly P2 is nothing to sneeze at, mate. So congratulations on your race.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Yeah, congratulations, Hawkman. Top drive, mate. And it's nice to see you give AJ credit for being quick, but I think the two of you were probably pretty close to being in the same boat most of the time. I've raced with you a lot, and aliens, the both of you, mate. Top drive, well done, and bad luck towards the end there, mate. It was definitely on for a podium for you. For a win.
Yeah, I think so. Me and AJ had a bit of different strategies. I figured tires every pit stop actually helped me.
So you did take tyres every stop?
Yeah, because after, at the end of my stint, I couldn't do more than, high 8s or not, up in the 9. So it cost me, 2-3 seconds a lot.
Okay, I was taking tyres every second stop, and towards the end there, Woodsy came up on me, and I had nothing left to fight with. I was sitting in P6. I said, Woodsy, you take it, mate. I got nothing left. The tyres are shot, so maybe I should have done the same and stopped tyres every stop.
Yeah, I tried 2 stints and just not taking it every stop.
Good to know for next time.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
Yeah, congratulations, Hawk, on second, mate. I was going for you all night. You were my favourite, but I tell you what, you're going to have a bit of flack though, because I told Team Milo your paint job's awesome, and they've got to update it, right? So,
speaking of bad jokes,
All right, thanks, Hawkon, from popping up. If you're wondering what we're laughing about, you can watch the broadcast and you'll see exactly what the lies these two are spreading.
Yeah, I caught AJ's little interview there, so I know what's going on.
Fair enough. All right, mate. Thanks for popping in. Looked like you had an awesome race. A bit of an interesting race for you. You're going up and down through the field and having some troubles all through the night, but you pulled it all together. Second spot. Well done.
Yeah, awesome.
All right.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And get rid of Ovaltine Milo people. They should join my team quick.
No, all talk, mate. That's what I heard.
Yeah, All Talk Racing is the name of my team. Okay.
P3 you got in the room there, mate. Baptist 29. That's John Scholz.
Okay, let's bring him in.
Scholzy, Alex McKellar here with Bernie Wiemers and Shero in the RRTV broadcast booth, mate. Another one with an eventful race. Spent a lot of your time up the front of the racing here tonight, mate. Top effort to bring home a podium for Team Venom, although I saw you and your teammate had a bit of a run in at one point too, mate. What was the action out there on track like for you, mate?
Yeah, I lost confidence each lap going forward. Got a bit of damage, got a bit unlucky, but I brought it home on a podium at the end. So, yeah, that was good. I think I had 2 run-ins with Les, actually, so we might have a team meeting afterwards.
Be a fly on the wall in that one too, but looked like Les was enjoying the Muppet livery tonight, which was uncanny given some of the moments that happened out there amongst other people. But the cars themselves looked like they performed pretty well, and I think the moments that people are having largely because of the extended race, everything going on there, mate, with all the pit stops and all the extra pit stops, I should say, the extended length of the race, the random yellows. What was your thoughts, mate? I wondered with regards to the yellows. I mean, we only had 4 to 5 lap stints. You know, you've got 2 yellows coming. How does that play on your mind in terms of your pit strategy?
Yeah, well, it ruins my racing because I'm actually thinking about pit stops. So I'm like, when do I come in? When do I what happens? And yeah, I mean, on the first yellow, I think I got a pass in the pace car coming in. So had to come in again straight after that. And then, waiting for the next one instead of going 5 laps, went for 4 lap stints. But yeah, seemed to work out at the end.
Yeah, fantastic racing, mate. Well, congratulations on the podium to both yourself and to Team Venom, and all the best in the racing that's upcoming, mate.
Cheers, boys. Thank you for the broadcast. Can't wait to watch it back.
Fantastic.
Congratulations, Scholty. Sorry, Bernie. I just wanted to ask Scholty, were you taking tyres every stop or every second stop?
Every second stop I was taking tyres, but I could feel it those last 2 laps of the last stint or the second stint.
Yeah.
It was almost worth it to take it every stop.
Yeah, well, funnily enough, but we were just talking to Hawkon, and he said he was taking tyres every stop, and yeah, I found the same as you. I struggled towards the end of the second stint. They were really bad.
Well, at the start, I went, I think, 4 stints without changing the tyres, and yeah,
wow.
Like lap 15, I was like, no, I think it's time for tyres now.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, but the lap times were up in the 2:12s at that stage, so it was like 4 seconds slower than what should have happened.
Yeah, but you still finished on the podium, right?
Exactly. Happy with that.
It played out really well. Yeah. Congratulations, Scholty. Top drive, mate. Well done.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, congratulations, Scholty. 3rd place. Good drive, mate. And let you go and celebrate with the rest of your team.
Grazie, rigatoni. Thank you.
I was going to try, but I thought 3rd time, I'm not going to pull it off 3 times in a row. But
That's it.
now I can hear the pen going down there. Not sure if you checked the chat or not, Shiro, but Paul's about to come in and he's already done his first joke. 2 antennas fell in love and got married. The ceremony was terrible.
Was great.
That's the one. Here he is.
He told me the one today, so.
Okay, here he is. Let's see. I told him he's got to have some good ones.
Nico, Alex McKellar, Bertie Weavers and Shara, of course, here in the RRTV broadcast booth, mate. Congratulations on what looked like a fantastic night of racing overall, mate. And, of course, your role in this is not just to have fun on track, but to support the racing that we all enjoy so much, mate. Hopefully tonight was everything you hoped for.
Yeah, look, absolutely. It's been a pleasure joining this Friday Night Race Club and being able to support it. And yeah, it's a fantastic environment, great people. Love the event and love the support from RRTV and yourself, Alex. So thank you.
No, it's our pleasure, mate. And tell me, what was it like seeing all those Subarus out on track tonight? It was pretty spectacular from this vantage point, I can tell you.
I'm just really happy that no engines blew up.
Well, I tell you what, they got a workout down Conrod, but they stood the test of the distance, mate.
Those boxes are pretty renowned for being reliable, and I'd just like to put your hat on it and my hat on it. They survived.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Well, that's fantastic. And a fantastic event and a fantastic season it has been, mate. So, from myself and all the other guys who turn up each week and enjoy the benefits of such a great platform, mate, I'll pass on my thanks and I'll hand you over to the boys.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Alex.
All yours, Shiro. No, Shiro's gone. No, congratulations, Paul. A great event tonight, and looked like everyone had a lot of fun. Now, you got the special award because you pulled off the best jump at the end. It was a picture-perfect landing, so congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you, Bernie. I've been working on that all week, and also on this joke. Did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? Great food, no atmosphere.
Awesome. I think Shiro's checked out though, so yeah.
He's checked
dad
out.
jokes finished. I'll come back now. Are they finished? Are the dad jokes finished?
Oh, we're just warming up.
Support, mate. Good on you.
Oh, here you go. What did the gardener do when he got excited?
Is this allowed to go on air?
Yeah, he wet his plants.
Oh,
That's really bad.
Well, it's a dad joke. I thought you'd like that, Nico. But anyway.
No, in all seriousness, thanks, Nico, for supporting the FNRC through the season. It's been fantastic. It looks like everyone had a great time in the Subaru tonight, and it definitely looked like a fun car to drive.
I don't know about fun. Challenging is the word, I think. And Bernie, thank you for your support too, mate. Appreciate it.
No worries.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody. Look, I'd like to thank Nico, Central Coast Subaru for their support, Bernie for your broadcast, Alex for actually giving up having a race tonight and stepping into the commentary booth, and everybody that participated all season long, 25 rounds, guys, 6 months. Season one's over and we get a week break and then we're back into season two and do it all over again. So thank you again to everybody concerned. It's been a great season.
Fantastic. And folks, this will bring to the end our pop-up broadcast off the FNRC. If you're missing any of the action that used to be on RRTV, you can check out the Monday Night Lights. That is now over on the top split. The AOSC, that's going to kick off in about 3 weeks' time. That will be broadcast by V8s Online, so you get all the action there. So that's fantastic. And no doubt the PCCA and that's a Porsche Carrera Cup, they are looking at broadcast agreements at the moment, as well as the NASCAR boys. So keep an eye on all that. It'll hopefully still come your way. As far as series broadcasts go on RRTV, there will not be any for the foreseeable future, but you never know. There could be random pop-up broadcasts coming your way. I'm not going to say when because I don't know. Just if the mood hits me, I might put something up for you guys to watch.
yeah, it's beautiful. Thanks for look, I want to take the opportunity, Bernie. I've done it a couple of times on the Monday Night Lights broadcast, but thank you for your support over the years, both for our community in the skips, but just more broadly for the ANZ community. You've been a tireless worker for us, and we do certainly appreciate it. But I know from another point of view, I'll be looking forward to seeing you on track, mate. Maybe trading a bit of paint, but that'll be good fun too. Before we head off though too, anyone who's watching from the FNRC race tonight, head over in about 5-10 minutes. I'll pop up a quick short stream to draw the lucky door prize for tonight's event as well. And yeah, have a bit of fun. It'll be a short one, quick one, get it out of the way, but let's just call it the after party.
Yeah. So all you young people, go and enjoy your after party. I'm going to go and have my Milo, and that's right, folks, and tuck myself into bed. That's on behalf of Alex McCullough. I'm Bernie Weemers. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you again on track very soon. I haven't even had anything to drink. All right, folks. Good night.
Bernie.